if I can, even if it's just one person that's watching this right now, that can change your life for the better and do something that you love. It's not all about money, guys. You got to do something you're passionate about. A wise man once told me, if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life. And I absolutely love what I'm doing right now.
You're now tuning in to Unfiltered.
All right, man. We finally did this, man. You know what I'm saying? It's we've been talking about it, and that's, we said when there's gonna be a time we're gonna have to do a podcast just dedicated to Josh Eats FL. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. These koozies are nice.
Yeah, man. Look at these bad boys. I just got them in this week. Check them out,
nice
y'all.
Koozies.
We got the merch. It's come a long way. And yeah, Chris, you were saying that. I think it was all about the timing, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I'm excited because I have, I know the personal Josh and now the Josh Eats from inception to now, so I'm excited to ask some questions that people probably will never be able to understand because I've been there from behind the scenes and seen the evolution happen. But
no doubt.
I feel like I'm a little off today. I don't know. I felt like under the weather. I wasn't sure what it is, but I think is, what's that saying goes where it's like to if you wanna like hit a home run, you gotta focus on the ball, become the ball, be the ball. You know what I'm saying? I wish I gotta feel like I gotta have a part of Josh Eats FL in a way,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's something missing here. You don't think?
No, I actually feel exactly what you're saying, and I feel the same way about Unfiltered FTL right now. Yeah.
If only we can do something.
What is it?
Hey, now this is more like it, bro.
I feel it, brother.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
This. Hey, this is how we start another episode of Unfiltered FTL. Let's go. All right, man. Well, let's get a little comfy, get a little comfy here because there's going to be some questions that are coming on in here.
Yeah.
Let's let the viewers know, first of all, who is Josh Eats FL? How about we start with a little taste about that, and then we'll get into deep diving. So I would say, let them know who you are, and for the viewers that are watching you for the first time.
For sure, guys. So a little bit about me, Josh Eats. I'm born and raised down here in South Florida. South Florida kid my whole life, and I think when you think about Josh Eats and where it came from and the inception of Josh Eats, it has to start with a passion for food and connecting the community with unique food spots, right? Whether that be an experience, whether that be a food that's unlike anything else you've ever tried, or maybe it's just one of the best in that specific category, albeit a burger, a pizza, tacos, you name it. That's really where the passion was. I've always been a foodie. I love going to different food spots, right? Like checking out new spots on the weekend, you name it, from when I worked at my corporate job at American Express. And so now, being totally focused on understanding what different owners offer in terms of uniqueness, right? Whether it be food, flavor, experience, a combination of the things, and connecting them with the community that frankly is spending less and less on going out nowadays. So I think that's really what the passion was, being able to connect the community and being able to have somebody who's credible, which I would say I'm credible, and connecting them with business owners that I've met, that I've had the food, that I've tried the experience, and it was like, wow, this was fantastic. This is something that people got to know about.
When would you say was that that aha moment that you're like, you know what, let me try this thing? Without going too deep, like when did that moment happen? Did it happen you driving by yourself, you talking to wife? What happened that you were just like, let me dive deep into this, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah. I think it happened with me just watching other influencers. I think the big thing for me was, hey, I want to go out and have a nice meal this weekend. Every weekend I like to go to somewhere different, right? Yeah. When I was working my 9-to-5 job, and I would be like, hey, let's bring the lady, or hey, maybe it's something I bring the fellas to, whatever, what have you. And I told myself, hey, why not me, right? Like, why not me be that person putting folks on, right? And I started, and truth be told, I got to shout out my man Mike is Eating. I was watching him when he first started, seeing his journey, like going out and trying the spots. I'll never forget, one of the first spots I actually shot was over at Wontom's, and it was a Mike is Eating reel there talking about that Wagyu sandwich that got me to go there, right? So I think just thinking about it and being like, hey, why not me? Why can't I put my hat in the ring, right? Why not me, myself?
No, 100%. So then now the next thing I want to touch base, and I'll chime in here a little bit too, is a lot of people think that, let's talk about the elephant in the room. People think like, oh, being a foodie influencer is just very easy. You just order food, you film it, and you just say an opinion. Yeah. And if people like it, they like it. If not, and hopefully you'll go viral, right?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, it's become where that picture's been painted and people think it's easy because more people are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then they start noticing that like people start dropping off, and it's because they're like, oh, I'm not getting the numbers, or I don't know why this. And then in reality, they don't have a strategy to begin with.
It's
You
true.
know, so I think, and this is a little behind the scenes,
Yeah.
when you started, I mean, you kind of touched upon it just now. You did something that I would always say, like, no matter what you're gonna do, if you're gonna be an architect, a doctor, whatever, you
Mm-hmm.
have to understand your history, and you have to kind of pay the respects and understand and get that knowledge of like what is the fundamentals of what you should do
Mm-hmm.
and how things work. And the first thing is go on social media and see what others that are doing what you want to do that are actually working, and
Yeah.
kind of take a couple tips from them, right?
Of course.
Then from there, understand why each one is working and why some are not working, kind of find out what their niche is and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, then look at yourself and say, okay, what do I bring to the table that's a little different? And who am I? And how can I do a little different? Not just saying different, because some people think different, like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna dress up and that's make me different.
Yeah.
That's not what it's about. You have to have something that is really, there's a reason why there's a lot of burger spots.
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain reasons why you go to X, Y, and Z one, because they have that difference maker.
Yeah.
What is that, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
they're all burgers. So
Yeah.
so that's essentially, you did what I would say, you paid the respects of like the influencers that were already doing it. And then
course.
you're like, you knew it was gonna grind from day one.
Oh yeah.
You even came as like, hey Chris, I really want to do this, what do I need and all that. And I was like, well, let's get it set up, because you're about to enter into the video world, photography world,
Yeah.
lighting world. You're about to find out so many things that people try to YouTube it, and
Yeah.
it's not enough. You got to experience it.
Exactly.
So talk about a little bit about, how it was when you started, kind of understanding that, because what made you do that versus just, I'm just go shoot and then whatever happens.
Yeah.
Like, why did you decide to actually learn the knowledge than you playing darts blindfolded?
Because truthfully, with anything, right, you want to do something right? You want to go far, not necessarily just fast. You got to be very purposeful with everything you do, right? And I took a lot of time to kind of figure out, okay, how am I going to bring who I am unapologetically, authentically as a person to the camera and let people see, wow, this guy's real, right? Like, it's not just the camera starts rolling and I get in a character. No, this has always been who I am. The camera just happens to be rolling now, right? So how can I be me, but still have some sort of a template? Now, don't get me wrong. Some of it was, hey, here's the plane flying in the air,
Yeah.
and I'm building it as I'm flying.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Some of it was, right? But when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Yep.
And for me, when I came on the scene and I launched, in July, early July, before I did anything, I had all the platforms set up, right? I already kind of teased that something was happening, I created a logo, which you helped me create, which I'm very appreciative of, as you can kind of see the Josh Eats FL right there. Yeah. It's everywhere, guys. It's everywhere. We got it right here,
We
too.
got it up there.
Yep. And so having the logo, having the background, getting people a little bit excited, right? I'd never used TikTok before, right? TikTok was something I always stayed away from because I know how addicting it could be for folks. And I was like, Instagram's enough for me, right?
Yeah.
But I created Facebook, I created a YouTube, right? And I wanted to have across all platforms, because you were just talking about throwing darts at the dartboard in the dark.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right?
Yeah.
The more shots you take, chances are more shots you're going to hit, right?
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect. And so before I'd gotten into that, I'll never forget the very first video I shot. I didn't tell anybody. I went out to a very nice meal with my fiance, with Barbara, for her birthday, actually. And we went to Timber Restaurant, Fort Lauderdale. It was fairly new at the time. And, she had stepped away, went to the bathroom for a little bit. I actually went and shot my first video to myself, just to myself, didn't tell anybody, right? And this was back in April.
Yeah.
So you think about, I shot my very first shot in April, and I didn't launch it till July. That just kind of shows you the type of know-how and the type of effort and energy I put into it. I built a PC from the ground up. I'd never done that before. I'd always wanted to do it, frankly, for gaming, right? And I used it for gaming for about a month and a half. But then when I started building and I started learning how to edit, I started taking shots, you start to understand both ends and how they work, right? Not just the content and shooting the content itself, but also the editing piece, right? So understanding those two pieces and putting them together, I think, is when things started to pop. And they didn't necessarily start that way, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just all about putting yourself out there. And look, I'm a very confident person. I have no issue with getting in front of 1,000 people and talking to them. I don't have stage fright. However, it was crazy because the night before I launched the platform, man, I woke up, I was in cold sweats, I couldn't sleep, nothing. Like, this is true,
It's
right?
a new world that you're
Yeah,
entering.
because
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm about to put myself out to the world, like,
Yeah.
for real, for sure. You know what I mean? And I don't know what they're gonna think. They could be like, the heck with this guy. We don't like
100%.
this guy, you know, and all the worst thoughts go through your head. But I think that's truly where greatness is found,
Yeah.
and where character is built, is in those tough, awkward moments where you're like, I don't know about this. I don't know
Yeah.
if this is gonna hit home. You start doubting yourself, but
Yeah.
being able to push through that and overcome, I think that's where the greatness comes, right? That's where real success starts to show itself. But make no mistake, you fail forward, right?
Yeah.
You're going to try a bunch of different
Yeah.
things. In a lot of my early videos, I go back and look at them now and I'm like, this was laughable. This
Yeah.
was seriously almost laughable. Again,
Yeah.
I liked it because I think I was there. I was being me, which is something that I've always been, which I could appreciate. But just the shooting, the quality of the content, right? Like being able to have high resolution,
Yeah.
being able to show the food to the people,
Yep.
because again, it wasn't about me, it was about the food.
Yeah.
And I think once I started to understand that and it started to click, that's when people were like, all right, I like this guy, you know? And it was also really cool because I had a lot of people come out from places that I would have never even thought to come and show support and love, right?
Yeah.
And the first couple of videos did very well. Even though they may not have been the best videos, they did very well because people came out and showed love, and that meant the world to me.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of gave me the gas to be like, all right, we're gonna keep on going. We're just gonna get green means go.
Yeah.
I'm all in on this. Like, I burn the ship, so to speak, right? And if you don't know what that is, you'll have to look it up. But burning the ships essentially means, hey, if I'm gonna go conquer this island, right? I'm gonna go over on my ships back in the day. Let's talk about centuries ago, right? If I'm gonna go, and I told myself, hey, I'm gonna conquer this island, I'm gonna take over this island, I'm gonna make it my own. I arrive there with my ships, with my crew. We burn the ships, meaning I'm not leaving here until I do what I set out to do. And that's exactly how I felt when it came to this influencing game content creation.
Yeah.
That was the gravitas for me, and that's truly the essence that I wanted to achieve, you know. And I know it wasn't going to be built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? However, I knew that it wasn't going to be lack of effort, it wasn't going to be lack of trying, and it damn sure wasn't because I wasn't going to continue to evolve, right? Every day I believe in getting better, and that's just in life, but also with my content creation and whatnot. So I think that's really the essence of where I started. To
No,
answer that, Chris.
100%, man. I mean, it's you had that motivation to start, and a lot of people, you know, I think we're built different. You know? So a lot of people they get unmotivated and things like that. And you had things that some people you can't really teach them these things. They have to either be born with it.
Yeah.
And you know, the only thing that you needed to do was kind of like learn. You know, you need to learn. All right, so how do I film with the phone? How do I do this? How do I edit and all that?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like what programs. You know, there's many different programs. You know, you had to make those decisions. You know, do I use CapCut? Do I use Premiere? Do I use this? Like, you know, so like you had to learn, and then from there, you know, then you're like, all right, this takes time.
Yeah.
You know, it took an hour to film it or 30 minutes, whatever, to film it. Now I got to take 4 hours to edit it.
True.
And you don't even know. So it might take you longer the first time.
It could.
And then you're like, dang, it didn't come out the way I wanted to. So you're learning these things. Now, with technology nowadays and, you know, the fact that things have gotten a little bit easier, it's helped, you know, somebody like you where you don't have to essentially build a company or a staff around you where you can learn. Because 10 years ago, there is no CapCut. There is none of these edits. So you have to like learn hardcore editing and even captions. That was something that you either manually do or you have to pay a high-end plugin at the time. Now it's like they all have to give it to you for free.
Yeah.
So it's cool, but overall, I mean, you're able to use the technology, use it to your benefit, learn, and then keep building on and improving.
Exactly.
Not just, you didn't settle, you know, because there's a lot of people that, regardless of if you do an influencer or whatever, I call it the 2-week, 2-month project. How many people do you know that has started something? Hey, I went into business and I'm selling mattresses. Support me. And the first couple posts, everybody's supporting you. Great job, man. If I need a mattress, I'm gonna hit you up, whatever, right? Then all of a sudden, you just stop posting after like week 2 or week 3 or whatever. It's like, what happened to this guy? He's like, I thought he was like, oh yeah, it didn't work out, man. You know, and it's just like, well, dude, I mean, you didn't even give it a full like month, 2 months, 3 months. Like what? People want things so fast now that it kind of bites them in the ass. Like, straight up.
You're right.
And because of that, you see that especially with influencers, because they try it out and they get sold on that one video that goes viral.
Yeah.
They go, yes, I got 1 million views on this. I'm doing it right. I unlocked the secret.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden the numbers just plummet. Because they're just like, well, I was trying to do the same thing here. I don't know why. Sometimes it was either the content, the way it was filmed, the transition, the song, whatever. It could have been the
location, the spot.
Correct. So they're not even taking the due diligence to learn from that video what it really was. They're just kind of like, oh, I know what it is, and they get cocky.
Yep.
And then they start wondering why their numbers are dropping and all this stuff. and they get a little jealous when they see somebody else kind of skyrocketing.
For
Because
sure.
I told you, I remember the first time I said, listen, you're gonna go on a roller coaster. I was
Sooner
like,
than that.
the first couple of videos are gonna do well because you have a lot of people that support you in your corner.
Yeah.
So those people are gonna be there. Now, as much as we want them to be there on every single video, not everybody is gonna be there every single video because they're not all on social media like that. And then, some of them, you'll see them, like some people, like our boy Zane, he's on there every video, every comment, all stuff.
Yeah.
But we got some other friends that also commented on video 1, 2, and they just fell off.
You're right.
But they see it, they know that, I see it. They just don't comment and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Guys, the engagement fucking helps us.
it does.
Just like with this video, it helps us. So that's my boys and all that. Write that down.
yeah.
That's my boys. I'm gonna hit you with a like, whatever. That it's the thing about it is that it's free.
Yeah. Doesn't
And
cost nothing.
the same way that you guys interact on funny meme videos, like, yo, look, this is so funny. This guy's car flipped in the air and he landed and a cat popped up, whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, ha ha ha, let me tag my boys. Just take those 2 seconds and help us out. You know what I'm saying?
It goes a long way.
And we do the same for you guys.
Mhm.
So it's about, piggybacking. But that was a little advertisement of engagement. So it got engaged, just like the video. But yeah, so essentially, as you were building, you learned that you had to do more than one hat per se,
Yeah.
right? But I did see the evolution that the videos went really good,
Mhm.
and then you were like, hey, some videos are stagnant, and instead of you like, oh, I'm gonna give up and throw in the towel, you were like, no, I'm gonna see. You were literally studying the videos,
Yes.
and I because we talked. I mean,
Yeah.
I was there from day one, so I know exactly how the process went. So I'm kind of giving you guys like what, and I'll let him speak too as well, so he
For
can
sure.
tell you. But I remember the conversation, like, man, this was not doing so hot.
It's true.
Maybe it's the time that I'm posting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the content.
Mhm.
Maybe is it some videos that you were like, I don't know about this one. If I should collab on this,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, I didn't like the editing. I'm gonna post it, and then they skyrocket,
You never know.
and you're like, what the hell?
You never know.
So you learned,
things.
it's a roller coaster,
For
and
sure.
then now you start like, all right, let me define my formula, and it's never going to be 100% complete because the algorithm's going to throw wrenches at us.
Very true.
But you at least know, like, all right, if I post this type of content, I know that I can do this.
Yep.
So how was that? Let's talk about how was that roller coaster ride? So I kind of already explained, so you don't have to talk about that. But like
Yeah.
your feelings, like how was it? You're like, I'm doing good, and then I'm discouraged, and so how was that?
It's just that, and I've been telling people this my whole life, having a strong sales background, right? Never ride the highs too high or the lows too low, but it's easier said than done, to be honest with you. And for me, it was incredibly difficult, right? Because I came out with a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
People, oh man, my first couple videos at 7,000 views. Like,
Yeah.
wow, that was awesome just on Instagram alone. And to your point, a lot of people came out and showed love because they knew it was a launch because they were in my corner, but maybe they don't use social that much, right? And they disappeared.
Yep.
And it was like, wow, I need to find some followers. I need to find people that are constantly on here
Yep.
that are going to help engage because at the end of the day, engagement is king, right? Those shares, that average watch time, that
Yep.
goes a long way. Not just a quick like it and move on. Like that doesn't help anybody, just to be quite honest with you. But I do appreciate it. Anything that you guys do is much appreciated. And I'm happy to do the same for you all, right? Supporting one another. But getting back to what you're saying was, I'd get down on myself like any other human being,
Yeah.
right? But instead of being like, oh man, I'm just going to give up, or hey, you know what, maybe I'm going to slow it down, I just sped it up more.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to continue to feed the beast. And in my first month, I told myself, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and stay in my lane. I'm going to go as quick as I can, and we'll pick up the pieces later and start to analyze and figure out, okay, this is something that was doing well. This, not so much, and start changing it. So really, for my first month-ish, I just kind of put the pedal to the metal and just whatever I had, set it, forget it, and did it, and just kind of pushed
His
through.
plan changed. He had a plan initially. I don't remember the details, but it was like, I'm only going to post every 3-4 days, and I'm going to post maybe 2 a day or something like that, and that's
Yeah.
it. All of a sudden, like he's like, yeah, I posted 4 today. I'm like, what? I'm like, you just wasted your content for the whole week. He's like, no, I'm gonna try it out. And so overall, you adapted.
Yeah,
and then
for
based
sure.
on what worked, what didn't work, so on and so forth. Now, one thing is, along this process, you obviously open that door to the foodie influencers. You're now in that world.
Of course.
You also met some other foodie influencers, not just virtually, but
Mhm.
physically, because they happen to be at the same place at you at the same time, or
Yeah.
they hit you up, or you even collaborated with some. So how was it? Because everybody at the end of it is like, we play basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're both basketball players, but you play the game different, and I play the game different.
100%.
So how did you take the feedback that they were kind of giving you? Because they were telling you things to like help you, grow and stuff like that.
Definitely.
But at the same time, you got to read through the bullshit. You know,
Yeah, it's true.
So how did you take that feedback? You knowing that you were new in the game,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes numbers, because social media it's like a dog and pony show. It's kind of like it's straight up. I mean, like if I was to tell you right now I have 1 million followers, you'll be like, Chris, man, this guy's doing something right.
Yeah.
You know, oh my God, like he's either rich or something, and I'm just like, I just have 1 million followers. Like, I could be broke as shit for all you fucking know. Like, what the hell?
It's an illusion.
I mean, for the ones that the hurricane that happened a year or two now, the guy in Tampa in the boat.
Oh yeah,
he grew millions of followers overnight. He's fucking homeless.
Yeah,
you know, but it was because the content was good. We're all liking it and stuff like that. So those numbers don't. You know what I'm trying to say is some people that's a fake reality world. You know.
Yeah.
So, people get respect automatically when they see numbers. They go, that influencer has 500,000, bro.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden you're like, it's like a Keith Lee effect. Yeah. It's like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing, man? You know, it's kind of like you're sucking up to them in a way. And it's like, yo, what the heck? But you know. So how was it that did you feel like, you know, that you were behind on the game when they were giving you advice? Were you taking all that knowledge in? Like, how was it when they were talking to you, you know?
Yeah. So I spoke to a ton of different influencers, and one that really came to me early and often and kind of opened up his world to me was Baldy, right? Baldy Eats. You guys, shout out to my man Baldy. If you guys don't know him, check him out. He is the Treasure Coast food influencer. And he reached out to me. Well, actually, I take that back. I actually reached out to him and I sent him a message. I don't remember what I said, but he told me, he goes, I get tons of messages. I don't reply to all of them. But he goes, something about your message resonated with me, you know? And he gave me his phone number. Him and I chatted on the phone several times, and like he was giving me a ton of great knowledge, right? And I was taking it all. But at the same time, I got to figure out, okay, Baldy has his own unique style. He has his own lane per se.
Yeah.
And there's definitely things that I could take and implement into my own, right? Like I'm one of the few food influencers, I'll say, that actually give ratings to food, right? Yeah. A lot of people are intimidated. A lot of people are scared. They run from that. Hey, it's my personal opinion. Just because my opinion does not stand above anybody else's, right? We all have preference, right? I might give something a 9. You might give it an 8, right? You might give something a 9. I might give it a 7. Who knows, right? But for me, I just wanted to kind of give, okay, here's the number, describe the food, talk about it. And I want people to really have the experience, right? Them looking at me through the camera lens is almost them sitting across the table from me.
That right there, because I've seen other influencers where they talk about like, oh yeah, these other people do numbers and they do this, I don't do that and all that. It's like, hold on, you're missing the whole point of why you're following this influencer. First of all, like you said, if I'm following you, it's because you gave me some type of advice on a restaurant or something that I liked, and it was honest.
Yeah.
And overall, I was like, yo, I'm gonna go check that spot out. And I went ahead and you know, you earned my respect because essentially I trust you now.
Yeah.
So whatever the hell if you say this is trash, I'm gonna take it like this is trash.
Yeah.
If you
100%.
say this is good, I'm gonna say this is good. If you say this is amazing, this is amazing. So however you want to say that, whether it's a number, an alphabetical order, hey, this is a Z, this is whatever the hell it is, hieroglyphics, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter because I'm following you in your world, and just like you said, like you're across the table from me, and you're pretty much saying, yo, this pizza's not that good.
Yeah,
you should probably, you know, or you know, whatever, we can compare based on the other videos, you know, if there's another better spot, whatever. But some influencers got to stop worrying about others and focus on what they're really even doing this for.
You're right.
It's to tell their fans, hey, this is my opinion, and this is that, because I see it all the time. People are comparing each other, and that's why I say it becomes a beauty contest.
Yeah,
and it's like, Jesus Christ, man, what the heck?
Nah, in reality, the way I look at it is I'm competing with myself every day, right? How can I continue to get better? Because I'm a firm believer, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse, right? If you're not progressing, you're regressing. And so, don't get me wrong. I see what other folks are doing out there, and I think it's great. And I think I think folks that have established their own unique lane, more so than anything, they're the ones that are absolutely killing it because they're doing something different from everybody else, you know?
Now, I want to touch upon something. It's more like a two-step. I'll ask it separately. First question. And you kind of answered it a little bit earlier today, but I want to clear the air. Your personality on your foodie reviews, is it a gimmick, or is that really you?
Absolutely not.
Because I know the fucking answer. If you know Josh, you know this ain't no fucking gimmick.
Nope.
This ain't no acting classes. This ain't no bullshit. If you know who Top Deadbolt is, you know who the fuck it is. For all the ones that know who Top Deadbolt is, leave a comment on this damn reel. Maybe Unfiltered might hook you up with something, all right?
Yeah.
But go ahead, man. let people know? Is this whole certified all it's a gimmick, right? It's a gimmick. It's all fake.
Absolutely not. And I'll tell you guys this right now. Anybody I went to school with, when I graduated high school and I walked across that stage, all you could hear was people going, "Oh yeah." It's all you heard, literally, because it's something that I always carried with me, right? And a lot of people like to run the parallels of like, oh, it's kind of like a wrestling persona. Well, guess what? I grew up on wrestling, right? The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, all those guys, right? Macho Man Randy Savage, the cream of the crop goes straight to the top. Those were all people that I idolized as a kid, man. I loved watching them. You know what I mean? Like, that was amazing. The Rock, all of them. And so I guess part of that kind of, you are a sum of all of your experiences, right? That's what makes each and every person unique, right? What you learned, what you hold near and dear to your heart in terms of values, and all of your experiences, your background, your upbringing, that makes you who you are. That makes each and every one of us unique. And for me, that was something I always carried. I played football, right? I was a big football guy. Sports was my first love, I'll say. You know, football was my thing. I fell in love with it. I played varsity. I actually played a year of college football before I tore up my shoulder, a whole other story. But this is kind of who I've always been. The energy is always high. This is naturally who I am. If you guys went out to eat with me before all this, I think, and I said it before, the camera's just rolling now. That's the main difference. These quirky sayings, everything that I say, when you guys see me shoot, it's one shot 95% of the time. Now, there's always a little bit of error, and maybe we have to reshoot an intro or this or that. But majority of the time, what you guys see is real time, real footage being filmed without a script.
Not script.
It's not scripted, you know? And so that is who I am, right? And anybody who doesn't see it, like, go ahead and hit the follow, watch. You don't even have to hit the follow, just watch my videos, and you're gonna see sooner or later, this is who I am, this is what I'm about. And I've gone live before. I've talked about how we have Saturday Football Crew, which I've had for almost 4 years strong. And anybody goes out there and sees me, sees who I am. They call me the commish because I run the football chats, or basketball chats rather. And so, you know, anybody who sees is like, wow, this is who this guy really is. And he's just putting it out there for the world to see, and he's connecting food with the community, you know? And for me, you know, something that I do want to talk about too is like, oh man, the guy doesn't give bad reviews. No, let's stop, let's pause, right? If I go to a restaurant, I always want to give the owner the opportunity to put their best foot forward because I respect them, right? I worked with small business owners for over 10 years prior to this, for a good portion of my life. And anybody who bets on themselves, who's an entrepreneur, man, I salute you, because I hadn't done it. And I worked with folks and I respected them, but I never had it. I never did it myself. And now 6 months into this, living this, well, technically I started in July, but really I started the work almost a couple months before I ever put out anything, you know? But I have utmost respect for entrepreneurs, especially folks who are restaurateurs, if you will, because they put their blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of people put up collateral, put up their whole life into investing into this business, something that's probably not going to be profitable for years, right? Let's be real, before they ever make their initial investment back.
Normally.
3-year rule, exactly. And so anybody who's willing to do that and deal with perishables, meaning anything that you purchase for the most part that's perishable, meaning it's going to go bad, it has an expiration date, man, that sand timer flips the second you receive that item, right? And you have X amount of time to be able to sell that and sell it for a profit. If not, it just turns to negative, right? And so for me, I'm here to support business owners. Now, have I gone to spots and not enjoyed? Most certainly. Am I going to tell you who they are? No, because I stand by the fact that I'm not here to put restaurants in the coffin. I'm seriously not. Some folks might be cool with that. That's fine. I respect you. That's your lane. My lane is supporting and uplifting restaurants. Frankly, that's what I'm about. Now, if I go to a spot, is everything always great, hunky-dory? Absolutely not. I'm going to highlight what I enjoy the most, you know? And if there's something that I do have, it's not perfect. Hey, I could have used a little more sauce. Could have been cooked a little bit long. Whatever, what have you. Could use a little more seasoning. I'll say that too, right? But at the end of the day, I'm not here to put restaurants under. I'm here to help them. And truly, if I feel really strong about something and I give a strong opinion and it's positive, it's because that's what I enjoyed.
So that's a good point, because if you're a foodie influencer and you're watching this, they're probably like, well, yeah, you know, I want to keep getting, you know, more restaurant owners to hire me, right? So that I can do the review. So, you know, if I'm positive, there's a high chance that they're going to hire me, right? That's one way of looking at it. But you're so authentic, and again, behind the scenes that you guys don't know, there's been places, without us naming them, where it was not up to your par. You literally filmed the whole thing. Now, from what he said he's helping them. He would not be helping them if he releases that video. He'll be trashing them. Now, you know what he did? Took a step forward, called the owner, talked to the owner, gave him his honest review, and the owner was so grateful, saying, you know what, man, can you please come back, give us another chance, because that should not how the service or the food should have been out, whatever the case may be. That's you providing feedback
Real
and
feedback.
helping them versus just saying, hey man, your food is amazing, man, and nobody comes. And then not only that, let's say people do come, now your fans don't trust you no more.
Exactly.
So it's that's the thing. A lot of these foodie influencers like, oh, it's gotta be perfect. Or you threw it in there too. They try to be like, okay, well, what I do is they call it well, I'd be making up names and stuff like that. But what they do is they make the review very positive. Then in the middle of the video, they'll say something like, oh, the fries could have been fried a little bit better. And then they go end with a positive note.
Yeah.
So they're like, I'm being authentic because it's all high, one bad no, and then I'm high again. So it kind of shows like, oh, they're not just saying positive, but it's fucking scripted and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I read through that shit so fast and I'm like, bro, like, no. So ultimately, you know, the fact that you're highlighting them, you know, and if you guys haven't figured out by the podcast, you know, our marketing firm, we focus on restaurant marketing. So this is coming from me working with owners, working with influencers like you guys. I probably hired some of you guys for our restaurant. You didn't know who I am.
They don't know.
You're like, damn, really?
Yep.
So I'm telling you the truth. So you guys have to really make sure that you stay true to yourself because I say all the flakes and all the bullshitter and all that stuff is gonna eventually shine, and then at some point you're gonna be exposed.
Yeah.
So and you'll be like, what's going on? Oh my God, no, all my followers are gone, all stuff, and it's like nobody follows me. It's like, I mean, you got caught. You know, like you're trying to play this gimmick of numbers and all that stuff, and you get caught because, you know, we don't want to mention here, but you know, for Josh Eats, we got some big plans. You know, right now he's at the what I would say micro influencer level where he's very localized in this area, but he might be traveling other places.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I can do that too. I'll travel the world and review whatever. It's like, yeah, but you're doing it in a different way. Like, you know, there's marketing campaigns and budgets and companies that you can work with. And in order to get that dance and go in that dance, you got to know how to play with those boys. Yeah. And that's where, you know, you got to have a good foundation. And that's essentially what we're trying to help you do is build a great foundation. Exactly. So that way you can become like a Keith Lee. You know, when Keith Lee touches a restaurant, it gets packed like this because he has such a big following and he stayed true to it. And he hasn't changed. He's still staying true to it. So that's why I call it the Keith Lee effect. It's like, oh man, come to my restaurant, it's gold. But people sometimes lose focus. Like, what did he do originally? It was just keeping it honest. He never went inside. He just stays in his car. Yeah. And now, guess what everybody's doing? Doing the whole car thing and everything. Which don't get me wrong, if you want to do it, that's fine. But it's just kind of like you got to be a little different. But yeah, no, I mean, there's so many things that I just would love to touch on. You know, we'll touch as much as possible. For sure. There was one thing that I want to ask, but I'll get to it because I definitely forgot it. It is unfiltered here. We don't script anything. I don't got no teleprompter. All right, I don't got no teleprompter. But so you talked about in high school where you know you're walking across that stage and people are saying, "Oh yeah." So the word "Oh yeah" has been there. So let's talk about "Oh yeah" certified. Where was that born? So that was we talked about that. I said we need a slogan or something, and you came up with that. Yeah. And I was like, it has a ring to it.
Oh yeah, certified. We said it right here in this office. Actually, I think it was the first time.
Kind of like, and you guys probably watched the that movie. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Air, where the whole movie's about Michael Jordan signing the Nike deal. Yeah. And they came up with Air Jordan, or I think that's what it was. And they were like, that has a ring to it. That's what it was. I had that moment. We were like, that's it. Yeah. Sometimes when it sounds too good, it rolls off the tongue. That's it. So that worked out. I knew that in the beginning. We're like, man, people are gonna think this is a gimmick and stuff like that. For sure. But it got to the point where like people are now like, if anything, the momentum is building up, and you see it in the videos. 100%. And you see it in. We did it the first time. I think it was a hot coffee. And then they were like. The girls are like, oh, I don't know, say, oh yeah, and they did it, and all of a sudden, like now, people they want to do it. Yeah, hey man, it's happening. So it's so cool because you know it's just, and it also saves his voice. You might want to talk about that because.
Oh yeah, yeah, guys, that the OES certified. I'm having to be a little bit more. How should I say? Frugal. Yeah, frugal. That's the word. I need to be a little bit more frugal with the use of the voice because, man, these vocal cords need a rest. There's a couple of shots where I was like, man, I need some honey. I need a little ginger. I actually have a whole routine that I do in the morning now to really take care of the vocals and make sure they're there because without that, I mean, that is the gusto, right? If I can't speak correctly, if I can't get your attention like that, that's a real part of what I do in terms of hooking you and catching your attention, right? Like, oh man, this guy's energy is real, right? And you stick around long enough, you start to see, okay, it is real. It's not a gimmick. And going back to the OES certified, it was just like, here, what is something that's going to be trademark signature for you early on, you know?
Yeah.
And I was always doing the OES, and I'm like, OES certified. It clicked in my head. It was like OES certified and Josh Eats approved, right? Like
Yep.
you're going to be able to see, okay,
That was the first one.
yeah,
Josh Eats approved.
Mhm.
And we're like, needs more.
it needs more, yeah.
It needs more salsa. It needs something.
Because you know me, you can never have too much sauce. And when it came to that certified, that's just the steam check, the drip check that we were looking for, right?
That's another thing. That's why I say we build different. Not
Yeah.
everybody can think on their toes.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the videos that you guys see, he's thinking these I call them taglines. He's thinking these taglines on the spot. And if you really watch the video, sometimes you'll catch one that don't make sense.
Yeah.
It might rhyme.
Yeah.
Be like, wait. But you're so into like, yeah. Wait, did he just say the cats and the dogs? What?
Yeah.
You know, so but the whole point is what I'm saying is that it ain't scripted, guys. So it
Mhm.
makes it authentic, you know.
For sure.
And I love the fact that you still post that, you know. So
Mhm.
it's just like, let's get this going, you know, get that actual honest review,
Yeah.
and then you have fun with it too. So
100%.
you know, it and the owners appreciate that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's entertainment.
Mhm.
It's an authentic review, you know, because you're a walking Google review essentially,
Yeah.
but video form. And then the fact that people like that, they're like, man, I want to watch that. Not just, you know, because we all got to eat every day.
This is true.
Every day.
Yep.
So not everybody eats out every day. That's fine. Even myself. Like I've been on a weight loss journey, stuff like that, but I still have my cheat days. And I want to make sure that my calories that day go to a delicious meal.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be going to a restaurant and it's trash. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yep.
I wasted my freaking calories on this.
Mhm.
Now, this is whack. So it's like, I want a cheesesteak or I want pizza or whatever. That's where I go. Sometimes I'm like, I mean, you guys probably see the comments. I'm like, oh, I know where I'm going for my next cheat day. I know where I'm going here, you know. So, and then it's pretty cool, you know. So, now I want to touch something which I would say, you know, is dear to your heart is
Mhm.
one of the core principles as to why you do what you do is you mentioned, you know, you do authentic reviews and stuff like that, but it's really to also shine and help these business owners,
Yeah.
you know, give them a spotlight
For sure.
with your channels in a way that they can't do it because they can't afford a marketing
Mhm.
company, can't do this.
100%.
So you're giving them a shining road where it's like, hey, did you guys know there's offers? Like, for example, Mimi's Cookies, right?
Yeah.
If you want to talk about that, I mean, there's plenty. There's much more. Chucky's.
Yeah. Chucky's cheesesteaks.
So like these are things that like, and the reason I'm mentioning it because I see the owners doing their content and thanking you.
Mhm.
I don't see that happening to a lot of influencers.
Yeah.
They just post a video, highlight them for a couple days, and then you never hear about it ever again.
Yeah.
They're like, I got paid, I did what I got to do. They handle it like a transaction. Why does Josh Eats FL not handle your business like a transaction, and why do you actually add some emotion to it?
That's a great question, brother. And I kind of get a little emotional just thinking about it, but I'm about building relationships. I think it's because I really, truly care. And I'm not saying that nobody else cares or, you know, it can be a very transactional industry. And I've
Yep.
seen that, but it's like, I actually go out of my way and I reach out to folks, you know, and in the beginning, that's what it was. It was me reaching out because nobody knew who I was,
Yep.
you know, from Dick and Harry from the street. Right.
Yep.
And so, you know, I was doing a lot of outreach. And I think one of the things that really helped me stand out from the rest was the fact that like, I actually really, really do care. And again, not saying that others don't, but I care to the point where it's like, I get on, I message them like, oh yeah, schedule's going. I'm like, well, who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it's the owner, sometimes it's the social media team, sometimes it's their son, their brother, whoever, whatever. And I'm like, well, hey, I'd love to speak with the owner because I'm actually interested in learning a little bit more about your story. I want to understand what your passion lies, how you ended up getting here, what was the journey that led you here.
Yep.
And of course, what I think is extremely important too is the fact that like, hey, if you're a burger spot, what separates your burger from all the other burger spots,
Yeah.
your pizza from all the other pizza spots, your taco from all the other taco spots? Like, I really want to know because I'm not in the business of just going anywhere, right?
Essentially, you're almost interviewing them.
In a way, yeah. And the cool
Yeah.
thing about it is it's a give and take, right? Because I'm asking them and like, this is their baby. This is their baby. This is
So
something
hold
that's near
on.
and dear.
So you're just not doing. I'm being sarcastic here.
Yeah.
You're not just doing what all these other influencers do, where they just send a little 1-page deck on a DM and say, "Please hire me."
No.
You're actually going above and beyond and having a connection with them. That's actually a true thing.
For sure, 100%.
I mean, that's guys. You have to. We're in the world right now with AI and all this stuff, and yeah, you can get all this stuff done, but we're still human.
Yeah.
And you guys have to understand that the restaurant
true.
industry right now is rough.
Mhm.
The restaurant industry is rough right now. The economy, everything. You notice the price is going up on food.
Oh,
You
through the
know,
roof.
so you gotta keep in mind as business owners. You know, even the big ones. You know, that's why big chains close and stuff like that. They cannot afford to be doing X amount of marketing and all that. They know they have to market. So now they're kind of going into the segment like, all right, influencers. And some of you guys are coming in there head over the hammer, like, hey man, I'm gonna charge you X amount. You're like,
Yeah.
but what do I get in return? So you can't take offense like, oh, they can't afford me. Maybe you got to open your eyes and see what's really happening in that industry, or maybe they're not the right fit for you because maybe
Mhm.
you do high-end restaurants. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. But if you really want to a spade, what's our boy pizza review?
Dave Portnoy,
Yeah,
Stool Presidente.
he
Yeah.
goes. Does he only go to high-end pizza places?
Nope.
He goes to anywhere and he travels anywhere, and
Mhm.
he has so much. He's such a big following, right?
Yeah.
Some people only know him as that. They don't even know he owns Barstool Sports, right?
Yeah.
So, in other words, it's like there shouldn't be no filters. You
Mhm.
shouldn't be trying to like judge, like, oh, they're not Louis enough for me. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Don't judge a book by its cover.
check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
So yeah, so you know, just some little thing to mention there.
Yeah,
So,
some of the best hidden gems are holes in the wall, right? So if you're
Yeah.
judging a book by its cover, you're missing out on probably some of the best food you could ever have in your entire life.
Yep.
But taking a step back to what you were saying in the passion piece, right, is that I get to know them, and I also like to tell them a little bit more about my
Yep.
story. You know what I mean? How I left corporate America to bet on myself, to build something of my own, and to ultimately be able to connect the community right now, as you mentioned, are frugal, right? We're spending less and less money
Yeah.
going out. Even if they do, it's once in a while, once a week, sometimes once a month, right? Like budgets are
Yeah.
tight. And on the other hand, restaurant owners, their prices are through the roof for
Yeah.
meat. Like beef is going through the roof right now. And something that's usually been pretty, affordable up to this point. And so when you think about the fact that their margins are getting smaller and smaller, right? They're dealing with perishables, right? Like, and again, in the food industry, it's another reason why I respect folks is not everything's going to be perfect all the time. The reality of it, shit happens, right?
Yeah.
But if you get vocal and you give people an opportunity to right the wrong, hey, that's great. Don't just walk out of there, leave a bad review, and be like, oh, my food sucked, and not say anything, right? Now, I'm not saying to go and complain just to complain and try to get a free meal. I'm saying give feedback so that folks have an opportunity to right the wrong, and so that you can feel better about your meal, the money that you spent, the experience that you had, and so the business owner understands, okay, hey, this is a chink in my chain that I need to shore up so that other customers don't have that same issue, right? You want to break the cycle. Don't let it just keep repeating itself. And going back to what you're saying is being able to tell them about my story, connect with them on a personal level and say, hey, let's make something happen, right? And at first I was paying for my meals. I did that for a while,
Yep.
right? And then it got to the point where it was like, hey, this is taking a lot of time, my energy, my effort.
They're probably shocked. Like, wait, did I just hear that back?
Yeah.
Can you say that one more time?
I paid for my meals, guys, for quite some time.
These
This is
people
true.
think, wait, I thought it was free meals, for doing the real. No, man, like you got to
Yeah.
start off somewhere.
It's true.
It's
It's true. You got to build it, right?
Yeah.
And I think any of the most successful folks started there, right? So paid my meals for a while, and I got to the point where it was like, hey, at this point, I feel like the quality of my content, my following's building, and I've had several business owners come to me and say, hey, one particular early on that really changed the game for me, made me feel like, wow, I am making a difference in the community, was the Munchies Report food truck, okay?
Yep.
Chef Gio, what's up, Chef Gio? Shouting him out. He's over there at Pompano Beach Brewing Company.
Yep.
And he had his food truck, and it was in the middle of summer, absolutely dead time, dead in the water.
Is that the one that we went to?
Munchies
They're
food
like
truck.
a green.
No, that's Chucky's.
Okay.
You're thinking of Chucky's.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of spots. I got to kind of parse
Can't keep
through.
up, man.
Yeah. And so we went to Munchie's food truck, and I spoke to Chef Gio, and we had some mutual connections, funny enough. And I went and shot the video and everything. Didn't really think twice about it, right? And when I released the video, he told me that his food truck sold out not once, not twice, but 3 nights in a row, okay? And it was a game changer for him because he put everything into this, right? And he was getting pretty close to the point where he didn't have anything else to give,
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that he was able to have that, he posted up a story, actually have the video saved about it, shouting me out. And at that point, it was like, wow, I can make a difference. And I didn't even have 1,000 followers at the time, guys. So anybody that thinks followers are the say all be all, you're absolutely wrong. Being somebody that's local, that knows the area, that really loves the area and captures the essence of it, it can go a long way for anybody. So that's a message to you micro influencers that are starting out. You might not have that K behind your name. I still don't, right? Or that M eventually, hopefully, God willing. And you are making a difference. You're going out there, you're putting businesses on, you're giving them a shot, right? It's not always perfection, right? Don't be your own worst enemy.
So let's talk about followers
Mhm.
because I want to stay on that topic for a second.
Yeah.
So Josh Eats FL does not have any damn bots. All right. But I'll tell you one thing, because I've seen the accounts, the back end and stuff like that. I'll put up his account. I don't know where you at right now on IG.
I'm around like 30, about that 3,700 followers.
37. I'll put that 3,700 followers against some of these 14, 15,000, 20,000 follower pages here locally, and you will destroy them every time. Not just because they might be getting bots and stuff like that, because you actually have real local people.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, I can't bring people. The owner, what they're doing is they're selling the dream to the owner with this fake number. Yeah. Like, oh wow, 14,000. The owner that's struggling goes, this guy has, more followers than this guy, so I think I'm gonna have a higher chance here. That's the way they think about it.
Taking advantage of their desperation.
Correct, and that's what's fucked up.
Yeah, I agree.
Straight up. I mean, you shouldn't be fucking doing that. And I'm gonna call it.
And asking them for money too. Asking them for money.
There's some influencers that's what the fuck you guys doing. You know how I know that? Because we handle, again, I do restaurant marketing. I do over 40 plus restaurants. We get the DMs, my team gets it, and we're like, we start laughing at your page because we see the engagement, we see the analytics, and we go, yo, you have 1% in America, the other one is like all the way in Mars. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, if we're gonna bring people in, we want people to come in because you told them, like, hey, Mr. Influencer here in Coconut Creek, you rated a Coconut Creek restaurant. There's a high chance that now those people are in Coconut Creek, they're gonna go there. All right, you can't guarantee anything, but like, you don't be selling these fake dreams. Oh, well, I don't care. I just want to make the money. All right, we'll see who's at the end, at the top when this is all over. Because I've done this many times with other influencers, and then they wonder, and I start seeing and then they start doing desperation stuff. Then they start doing the gimmicks. Then they start trying to copy other people, and they try inventing shit out of the whack. And you got to stay true to what you're doing. So ultimately, you're following, and that's just Instagram, because overall you got plus 10,000 plus with TikTok and everything. Yeah. You've been growing your pages, and people have been and you also said it, people have recognized you too. Yeah. And how does that feel to be recognized?
Oh man, it's funny because I also had this similar conversation with Baldy. He goes, man, have you run into that like celebrity status? I'm like, what do you mean, man? I was like, oh no, I'm not there yet, right? And within a week of him telling me that, I went to Oakland Park's 1 year anniversary for like Chainbridge Distillery, Eat BMC. They just opened up Eat BMC FMS Creamery next door, which is amazing. You got to check out that ice cream. That video is coming out soon. Amongst there's a pinball spot. I can't remember the name of it, but it's right next door to Moon Pie, which is a new spot, and it's actually the same owner that owns Glitch Arcade Bar. Okay. Oh, okay. So I went there on just a whim, like, hey, I'm gonna go check it out. I actually had been in touch with J-Rock, who's owner of Eat BMC, and he told me, hey man, like, I'm happy to come through. I'm happy to take care of you. Yada yada. And asked me, he said, hey, I'm gonna take care of you. You shoot the video, yada yada. And so I went there, and for the first time, I actually did have somebody recognize me. Like, and I've had, and now funny, before that point, if people, oh, Josh Sheets, I've seen you somewhere. Maybe they've seen the video, maybe they're not. But they're not actually following me. You know what I mean? Which is fine. They see the videos. That's cool. But like, some people say that maybe they mispronounce me. You think I'm somebody else or whatever. But this guy, I turned around, he goes, oh yeah. And I was like, he's not faking. You can't fake that. And I was like, what? He was, oh my gosh, man, it's so cool to see you. And he had his kids, which are like 3, 4, 5 years old, young. And he's like giving them, you mind if I take a picture with you? And then his wife walks out and she recognizes me too, and he's like, oh, wait, here, you got to take a picture, and he took a picture with me. He posted on his story, he tagged me and all that. And that was an amazing moment. You know what I mean? Because he's like, man, I love your videos. I love your energy. I love this. And like hearing more and more people say that, it's like, okay, it's a reminder because, we were talking about the highs, the lows, and really just taking a lot of energy out. It was just a quick reminder of like, wow, you are making a difference, right? And even when my gas tank's on E or running on fumes, I get one of those things happen, owner, fall or whoever, whatever, and
gives you motivation.
Difference. It fills it up, brother. It fills it up, and I'm like, oh man, like I'm going right. Like I think all throughout the journey for me, what's been really important is that we are human, right? We all gas out at some point, but there's been signals. There's been little messages that happen every step of the way, man. And just when I'm like, oh man, I don't know, or if I'm gonna slow things down, it happens, and I'm like, nah, I got to keep going. Like I got to keep going, right? And so
no, that's great. So I'm gonna put you. You might want to take a swig of water for this. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Oh no!
All right. So we're gonna turn this into a short right here, so that way we can post it up as a reel.
Okay.
So this is to the business owners that don't know you. You reached out to them, or they found you online, or whatever. Yeah. What do they typically do? We know that they're gonna judge you by what you have online automatically. Let me see his views. How many other restaurants has he done? Oh, he might only have 10,000 views here, 5,000 here. Oh, I don't know, whatever. Oh, how many followers? They're judging you by that. They
Of
don't even
course.
know who you are. They haven't talked to you yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are 3 bullet points that why they should hire Josh Eats FL to do their review?
Yeah.
So, what are 3 things that you will say without going too in detail
Mm-hmm.
that it's like you're gonna get this from me, this from me, this from me. That's why you need to hire me.
Yep. So number one, you're going to get me, unapologetically, authentically me. What does that mean for you? Means number one, we're going to have a damn good time, guys. We're going to have some fun doing this. I'm going to get to know you. You're going to get to know me, and we're going to build a relationship, right? As Chris hinted to earlier was, I'm not transactional in any way, shape, or form. And I tell all my business owners that, hey, I'm going to shoot this video with you. The hoping is that it does well. And I want to be one of the folks that you keep top of mind for whether you just need content shot and edited where I can do that and I'm not in it at all. Or perhaps, hey, maybe they can call me back and I kind of highlight their special. I can highlight the burger shake of the month, which we'll get into here shortly. I can highlight, a special event that they're having, right? Whatever, a new item. I would be honored for you to think of me to do that, right? So number one, we're going to have a good time. That's for sure. Number two, I'm here to help. Like, I really am here to help, and I truly do care. I want to understand what makes your business special so that I can highlight that, put that on a pedestal. I want to understand, like, I'll ask business owners, I'll be quite honest with you, and I'm giving out some secret sauce right now. I ask business owners 3 questions when we're about to figure out what food. Number one, what's your top seller? What's your best item? What's your bread and butter, right? Number two, what's your favorite item, right? What's your personal favorite item? What's the item that you're like, oh, I got to have this. I'm in the mood for it, right? And number three, what's your most unique or eye-popping item, right? And now there can be overlap between any one of those 3 categories, and I'm okay with it. That means, this is definitely something I want. And I'll cross that with my own personal preference, right? Like Adam and Joe's, I'm gonna call them out real quick in a good way. They have some really great tuna salad. I hear their tuna salad's amazing. I do not eat tuna salad, guys, and my palate's opened up quite a bit. I'll try more things than I just ate raw fish yesterday at Papa's Raw Bar. I don't normally do that, and it was amazing. But I'm opening up my palate. But with tuna salad, I know that's a recipe for disaster, for chaos, and I want to highlight you, right? So those are 3 questions I'll ask every business owner, right? So number one, as I mentioned to you, we're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time. Number two, I care. I want to connect. I want to get to know you and your business and understand what I can highlight to the people to get them to come through the door, right? Number two. Number three, this is something I'm definitely thinking about here. I would have to say is I'm going to do my very best, and I mean my very best, to go out of my way to highlight you to my friends, my family, my followers, and really make things pop, right? What is different? How can we highlight that, right? And usually my first videos are going to be that of a typical review, if you will. But if there's something fun, something funny that we can do, if I can get the owners involved, if I can get the staff involved, that's something that I'm moving towards, right? Because I want people to be a part of it. I want people to feel it, right? And implementing anything that we can do to make things better is going to be something that I want to do, right? So what can we do to continue to evolve? And what I mean by that is like collaboration, right? When it comes to collaboration, I don't mean, just accept the collaboration on Instagram so it can appear on both our pages. No, collaboration in the true sense and the essence of the word, that I'm an open book. You see my style. You see how I shoot stuff. How do you want me to come to life in your business? And very well, many businesses are like, hey, come do your thing. I love it. Set it, forget it. And a lot of people, like you say, judge book by its cover. My energy is infectious. I've noticed people tell me, I like your energy, I like your style. You're not like anybody else. Like, I see it, I can feel it, and I got to have you in my place, you know? And so it's going to be just that. And that those 3 things in a nutshell, whether they overlap or not, I think is what separates me from other people. And ultimately, my first ever paying gig, you were there for it, actually, guys. I was at my best friend, Dr. Zane Sajid. He's actually been here in this chair on this show, on this podcast. And Zane had me come to his baby shower, and he told me he had a couple of food trucks that were going to be there. And I told him, oh, that's great. He goes, I want you to shoot your stuff, right? And when I got there, I planned to shoot my stuff, but I got there, I was like, oh, it's all about him. It's his special day, his special moment. And I'll never forget, we had a drone in the air, and we all like kind of came in, we were hugging. And I told him, I was like, man, today's your day, bro. I was like, I'm not going to make it about me. We're going to do it. He grabs me, holds me close, and whispers in my ear, right? And he goes, bro, if you don't do this, I'm going to be fucking mad at you, bro. Like, we're going to have a problem. We're going to fight, because all my resources are there for you. You're my best friend, and I want to share that with you any way that I can uplift you. And like, dude, I get emotional saying that because, man, during this journey, it's crazy how many friends and family that you hold close to you that don't actually have your back, and then you see the ones that do, right? And strangers that come out of the woodwork, which is crazy. But he told me that, and I was like, you know what, let's do it, right? And we stopped, and we were shooting for Pinky's Tacos, which we still need to go out to Pinky's. We got to come to the restaurant soon. But we did the shoot, and as I was doing that shoot, this was 3 weeks into my journey, by the way, guys. The owner of Hot Coffee came up to me, and he goes, I love your energy. I love what you do. I didn't even have 1,000 followers at the time. He goes, what do I have to do to get you to my 2 stores? right? Just like that. And he offered me a paying gig right there. I didn't even want to accept it. And he told me, he goes, no, Josh. He goes, I don't care that I'm good friends with Zane, this, that. He goes, the hell with all that friend shit. He goes, you bring value to the table and I want to pay you for your time. And that's what we were able to do.
So yeah, so one thing that I wanted to touch upon that I'm sure everybody here has a question about is I see we have some very nice shiny decor over here on our right hand side. What exactly is this right here?
Yeah. So funny story, and one of my places that I went to do a review, Amich's Pizzeria, which is amazing in Coconut Creek, my hometown. When I was there and I was shooting it, I ran into somebody by the name of Drew.
Okay.
And Drew was from the Podcast Twins. So you guys may have seen me on a different podcast with them. It was with Drew and Vince, who are the Podcast Twins.
Okay, shout out to them.
Shout out to them. And when I saw Drew, after we were all said and done, he's like, man, bro, he goes, I don't know what it is, bro, but your energy, I love it. I love your energy. He goes, we do a podcast, this and that. He goes, I gotta have you on. I gotta have you on. It was funny because my man Eric, who's also been on here, health coach E, he was with me because he comes to a lot of the shoots with me, helps me shoot. And he's like, let's bring you guys both on.
Yep.
And so long story short, we went and did the podcast, everything. And it turns out they work at Victory Awards Group. Forgive me if I got that wrong. And basically they do all types of plaques, trophies, belts for all different types of, like they're really big on golf. They do all types of golf tournaments and whatnot and all that. And they do all the type of branding, you name it. And so he was like, bro, one of the first things, and when we went to the studio, I talked with him more, we shut the podcast. He goes, man, your persona, your energy, bro, it reminds me of a wrestler. He goes, we got to get you a belt. And I'm like, oh, maybe. And he showed me a belt. I was like, oh, it's kind of cool, And he just kept on telling me like, hey, we got to do it. So he's like, send me some pictures, send me your logo. Let's get some ideas and we'll do it. And so that's what I did. And this right here is exactly what we came up with, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So you see here, you got the, oh yeah, certified right down the middle, my trademark logo. We got food champion above, right?
Let me see.
Yeah, check that out, man.
Whoa, this thing's heavy.
Yeah, you gotta be in the gym, brother.
This thing is heavy.
That's real. Whoa. That's the real McCoy. I did not.
So we got what do we got here? We got
so I'll go through, guys. So number one right here, all the way to the right, we got Al Volo Pizza Pasta up in West Palm Beach. One of the craziest cheese pulls to date. Absolutely amazing. The owner, Damien, there's the man. You got on the inside piece right here, we actually have Amich's, funny enough. And that's their famous brownie brick, which is one of the best brownies I ever had in my life. So that's a great shot. Moving on over, we actually have some of my OG spots. This one right here with the big beef rib, that's actually a trademark video for me. One of my first really good performing videos is at Mr. Lee's Barbecue. The owner, Lee Stransky, is an absolute great guy. I love Lee. Shout out to my guy. And then also all the way over to the left, we have my trademark. You guys have seen it. Burger Stop. All right. Yeah. Show it to the camera. Let them know.
You know what I'm saying?
That's at Burger Stop. That was actually my second video that I did for Burger Stop, funny enough. But yeah, man, those were all like really pivotal moments for me for one reason or another. Obviously great food. The owners left a mark with me. And, I also like to shout out Rose, who's actually Lee's aunt, who's helped me with the shirt that you have on right now.
Oh, yeah, these shirts came out.
These things came out clean. Yeah, that's the blue, baby.
Fire, you know what I'm saying?
You see. Oh, yeah, certified.
Shout out to the Real, the team, to the design.
Yeah, Real helped me with it, baby. They helped me put it together. I came with the concept, and you guys made it pop. You made it official. So really, really appreciate that. But that's kind of like the story behind that. And something that I actually did was we talked about me having my reviews. If I ever go back and do a return review for somebody, it's usually different items, usually something special. With Burger Stop, and it's funny, it's a perfect segue from what we were talking about. Burger Stop, the owner, Mike, I'd like to shout out my guy, Mike. He was really the first restaurant owner that came to me and was like, hey, I love your thoughts on building a relationship, on essentially, I don't know, lack of a better word for it, we'll say brand ambassador, if you will, where he wants me to come back and roll out his burger and shake of the month, And he was the first one to actually say, hey, outside of the opportunity that I told you before then, like, hey, I want to pay you to do this. Like, I know your time's not free. And that was really the second person who had paid me, but really the first person who really showed me support, right? Like, and the funny story about Burger Stop, guys, is when I first started calling, remember I told you I had to do a lot of outreach? Yeah. I called them a bunch of times, right? And I wasn't getting a return call. So I kept calling Steven, who's the manager at the Coconut Creek store. I told Steven, I was like, what's going on, man? I was like, I've been coming to Burger Stop for 10 years, bro. Like, I love this spot. I got to do this spot.
Hometown.
Yeah, right? I got to. Owner finally calls me, Mike, and he was a little funny because he had some bad experiences with some influencers. And him and I had a great conversation. He goes, oh, let's do it. And he ends up because of the conversation I had, and he credits me with this, he goes, you actually got a good taste back in my mouth regarding influencers and content creators and the power of it. And he goes, I start bringing a bunch of people in, but I was and still am to this day. And he says, we're going to ride this till the wheels fall off, continue to be your go-to person for monthly shake and burger of the month, right? And when I come back, I like to do something a little fun, right? And we kind of drop and make a creative skit, maybe around the food, maybe embodying the ambiance of that specific restaurant or place, and we make it fun, right? Because for people to keep coming back, it's got to have a hook, right? Average person has an attention span of a goldfish, right? So like, if I can't hook you in the first 3 seconds, it's like, heck, why am I going to watch the 90 seconds or longer videos of 3 minutes, right? And I shout out Mike because he made me feel the value of what I'm doing and be like, wow, I actually deserve some compensation for my time. Not necessarily just for the foot traffic that's going to come in for my time, my energy, my effort, right? Everything that kind of goes into this. And really the fact that I love to do this, you know what I mean? So he was the first one to invest with me. Him and I continue to work together. I'm super thankful for his relationship because him and I are actually good friends now.
Yeah, no, I mean, you always got to, I mean, I think you position yourself in the right way where you become an asset to him.
Yeah.
We said it earlier, a lot of these influencers are just thinking it as it's very transactional. Like, they're just like, man, I got to get 5 gigs this week. If not, whatever. And I understand, but then I'm be honest with you, maybe you're not ready then. Like if you're complaining about money right now and you're seeing this, like I got to get money in my pocket or else I can't eat or whatever, then maybe you need to do a side job while you do this on the side. I have plenty of influencers. Simply Lean, she was on here. She works full time and she's a big influencer on the foodie world. And she goes and does these high-end restaurants and all that stuff, the experiences and all that. There's no excuses. So in other words, like if you're gonna dive deep into this, and for the ones that don't know, I mean, you were working for corporate America. You were like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do this full time right now.
Yeah.
And you were like, in the beginning, you weren't getting $1.
Nothing.
You had to build a foundation, and now the foundation you're starting to see. You're starting to see the
reaching out to me.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you're starting to see the actual all that hard work start paying off. And we're not even people are like, oh yeah, he's growing all stuff. Not even close to where the potential is.
No.
So it's in other words, like if you do good things will come to you. Stop trying to chase and shortcut. Stop trying to do a quick get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work in that type of industry. I'm telling you, it's not. And don't get sold on one video going to 1 million views or whatever. I got videos of 13 million views and all that stuff, and that doesn't mean we're rich.
Yeah.
It's the views are gonna get the attention. The attention is gonna get you what? What do you want the attention to be? Is the attention on the video was that, oh man, there was a funny cat that in the video. Okay, but that has nothing to do with the business. How can, and this is the challenge for the influencers. You have to get attention, make it fun and entertaining, and stay true. And how do you capture all of that all together in your unique way to deliver that video so that the audience are captured and they go, hey, I want to go there because not only because I trust this review because of this person who they are, okay, checkbox. They show that the food is actually
appetizing.
It got my mouth watering, check mark. And then now it's like, you know what? Because it also shows the owner was cool with it, so it shows that they're cool with it. They got some swag.
Yeah.
So they're like, if they were cool with him coming doing his thing, that means they're cool with people. They're opening the doors to another market. So then obviously you also let them know because not every place is a casual place. Some place might be fine dining stuff like that, but you get that from the video. So you do a good job of showing that ambiance and all that. So in other words, you gotta do your homework. Don't just try to put a video together and just try to do the format that everybody tries to copy.
I'm not chasing the algorithm. I refuse to chase the algorithm. And guys, when I came into this, I know that it could be, make me some money in some way, shape, or form at some point. However, the big thing for me was short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain.
Yeah.
And until I've heard multiple people telling me the value of my video, I've helped their business, multiple people reaching out and saying, hey, I will pay you to do this. Doesn't mean that I still won't do a meal for real. I'm happy to do that. And I still work. And if you guys look, I have so many spots that I've gone to, people that work out of their house, food truck, what have you, right? Because I respect an entrepreneur and I respect somebody betting on themselves. Such a small percentage of people are willing to do that. Yeah. And so I'm willing to help them any way that I can, even if it's just a little bit, I will do that. And I'm not charging them. I know they don't have the money. I'm not looking for that. You know what I mean? It's not important to me. But another thing that's also important is that I'm not David Portnoy in the way of, hey, I only do pizza. I do all types of stuff, right? I did Del Taco recently, right? Like fast food. I realized that not all my audience are going to be able to go out and have a Mia Rosebuds type meal, right? Not everybody's going to be able to go out and have Il Molino fine dining, right? Or have a steak. I realize that, right? So I got to be able to, pitch stuff that's good for everybody, right? And that's the other thing. Like on my rating system is a lot of people ask, oh, this or that. Like I rate cheese pizza different than specialty pizza, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to rate, a burger different than a taco. I'm going to rate a white tablecloth high-end spot different than I rate a fast food spot because it's not a one size fits all.
So this leads me to my next thing. I want to pull up some videos here.
Yeah.
Ale, can you pull up the Spice and Vibe video? I would like for you to
gosh.
let's watch the video together.
It's an early video.
And this is actually a video that we ended up doing together. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Unscripted. We just kind of said, this is one of the first videos.
Within the first month.
Yeah, literally. We're like, we didn't know when we were going to release it. But overall, because I knew this was new to you, so I was like, let me help out,
y'all?
any way we can. What's up, guys? This is Christian with Real Design.
We're out front of Spice and Vibe, and we're about to see where all the spice and where all the vibes are at right here in Oakland Park.
All right, guys, so come on in. Let's go ahead and get this going. Whoa! What's going on here?
Bro!
It's my brother Josh Eats. What's up, man?
Bro,
how you doing,
man?
Are you doing what I think you're doing?
You darn right. This is the best wings in all Broward County.
I'm down to do the collab, baby. You doing the collab?
Let's do it.
Let's
right
do this
now,
collab.
brother.
Let's
We're
roll.
locked in.
It was hot that day.
I'm
Did you
sweating.
know we got grilled wings?
Grilled wings?
Grilled
no way.
wings.
I've
Yes,
never
sir.
had them before.
My boy, hey.
Really?
You think he's sweating now? Just wait till he starts eating those grilled wings. I'm telling you right now.
Man, I'm getting hot thinking about it. Ugh.
So first things first, let's get some wings.
I'm
What are
with
you
it.
feeling?
Man, you already talked about it. That Jesse honey garlic, absolute must.
All right, let me get 10 of those.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do 10 Vibe wings.
Ooh,
Let's
yeah.
do some spicy lemon
sounds
pepper. We'll do
good.
5 of those.
Spicy.
And then let's go ahead and top it off with tamarind chipotle barbecue. Let's do 5 of those. He's gonna have a flop. I'm gonna have a trifecta. That is actually a drink.
the flop doesn't stop around here. They just keep flowing.
Let's do it.
I'm hungry now. I'm hungry now.
Pause it there for a second.
These wings will make you sing. I'm telling you.
Just hit
Spice
spacebar.
and Vibe.
This is a feast fit for a king.
All right, so I bring this up because Spice and Vibe, they're known for their wings.
Mhm.
All right. So I wanted you to kind of walk me through when it comes to you, because this is not the only wing spot you've done.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you judge chicken wings?
Yeah,
Let's
so
go. Let's talk
a number
about
of things,
that.
right? So again, every rating comes down to personal preference. I think we all have what we like, right?
Mhm.
For me, I like a nice crispy crunch. You guys hear me say it time in and time again. So I like my wings to have a nice char on the outside, right? When I bite into it, it's still got that juice on the inside. That's incredibly important for me. And also that, me personally, again, some people like big jumbo size wings. I actually like smaller wings that are more real. And why do I say real? Because they're not pumped up with antibiotics and steroids and you name it, right? Like it's more of a real wing. And I'm big on texture, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's stringy and pulling all this other stuff out, it kind of like rubs me the wrong way. Or if it's really big,
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, too much. So for me, I like a nice crispy, crunchy wing. Frankly, I like smaller wings, realer wings, if you will, because if you ever seen real wings that are not pumped up with steroids, that's the size that they are, right? So people are like, oh, they're charging a lot for that. No. Outside of that, it's like the sauce, right? Like, what is the flavor like? You know what I mean? And again, personal preference here, but I love having garlic. If they have some minced garlic over it, that's great. But I also like to have some good flavor to it, right? Now, am I good with spice? Oh, I love some spice. Hey, spice is in the name, right?
Yep.
However, it's got to be, to where it's a flavorful spice, right? It's not just a spice that's just hot for the sake of being hot. Like, oh no, I taste that. You know what I mean? So when it comes down to that, obviously texture, flavor is important, the type of wing, and ultimately, like, hey, how much did I really enjoy that wing? You know what I mean? And I like to compare it to others in terms of flavor, where like, some wings are almost overly cooked, where it's just too, you bite into it, you can't even totally bite into it because it's too rock hard, right? So it's kind of like a sweet balance, like an equilibrium. And then the other piece, of course, is that like, hey, after I'm all done eating, how did I feel afterward too, right? I think that's also important.
You guys taking notes? Because the thing is that everybody thinks like, oh, the food's good because it's good, but you're literally, and that's why I wanted to pull this up, because wings, burgers, all this stuff, you can't judge them the same. They're not apples to apples. You have to judge them differently. And then on top of that, wings in particular is one of those things where it's considered a bar food.
Yeah.
Right. Almost every single bar in America has wings, and normally big franchises like Twin Peaks, Hooters, and all that's normally where you go get your wings, right? But a lot of these places is a gimmick where because they all order from the same supplier, so they order a distributor from you know, they get these sauces that are pre-made. Then they get the chicken, and what they do is they fry it. They take it out. They dump the sauce on. And they say, "Here you go, buffalo sauce, buffalo wings." And don't get me wrong, there's a taste for it because it's not that they're trash. Like I've eaten those wings. And I'm like, yeah, it tastes great.
Yeah.
But that is when you have a homemade sauce. And when you have sauces that are better, and I'm not just talking about just Spice and Vibe in general, I'm talking about just any places because they're not the only ones that do it.
Yeah.
It's a big different. It's a different league. And so I see these foodie influencers judging these places with wings, and I'm just like, my man, I know you're faking it because those wings are not that good. Like they're saying it's homemade, and it's not homemade. They're buying the sauce, they're dumping whatever it is on there.
Yep.
You know, and it's just like it's not authentic. And you know when you have an authentic taco from an actual street food truck, from a Mexican food truck, than it is from a Taco Bell. Yeah. That is not authentic. You know, they already have everything pre-made. You know, you taste the difference.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why home cooking is still is all the way up there.
Yeah.
Everybody says grandma's cooking, my mom's cooking, my dad's cooking. It's damn good because they're cooking it fresh. They're cooking all the stuff. Right now in America, we have too many preservatives.
Yeah.
It's too much. So I wanted to kind of touch about the wings, but now, you know, let's go on to the next video. What about pizzas? You know, so let's go on to the next video and let's watch, you know, a little bit of the reel, and then let me know how you judge pizzas because and then this one's interesting because, you know, we all know like Dave Portnoy, you know, he's doing his pizza review, one bite, everybody knows the rules, and the flop and all that. He has his ways. Yeah. So how do you judge it on your way? So let's watch that video.
Yeah. So as she's pulling that up, something I want to talk about is it obviously
hit pause for a second.
Just for a second. I'm sorry. It starts and ends with the food, right? Oh, you got it almost? Yep. Okay.
There we go.
Just something I want to talk about really quick. It starts and ends with the food, but like, what about everything in between? Like, were the people there? Are they just going through the motions to collect the check? Are they actually welcoming? Do they want you to be there, right? What's the ambiance like? How does it feel when you walk in? Are other people having a good time, right? Is the energy right, you know? And then again, if something is wrong or doesn't come out the right way, like, hey, letting them know and how do they handle that? I think that's important. But going back to what you're saying, ingredients, right? Stuff being house-made, doing things a little bit differently, not just necessarily frying the wing. Maybe they bake it in the oven too, right? Like there's different things that kind of go into it, if you will. But yeah, I mean, and the funny thing is that even I go back and look at ratings, definitely not Spice and Vibe because I still love them. Still one of my best wings, and I stand by them being the best wings in Broward County. However, I will say there's a lot of spots that I rated early on that after my palates opened up, after I've learned more, because I didn't know what I didn't know.
Now you have a scale
levels
to judge
to
them
this.
on.
Yeah, I might go back and something
they could have been an 8, now they're a 5. You're like,
seriously. It's
so,
serious. Seriously, like my ratings will not be
have
the
options,
same. I'm growing the palate. I'm trying more. So that's just something that I wanted to touch on, right? Something I may have rated 3-4 months ago. Not necessarily might not be as high, but some stuff definitely won't be. I'll tell you that. It's just because I've been adding to the palate. I've been learning. I speak with the owners. I understand ingredients. Pizza especially. I've learned a lot about pizza. But yeah, without further
let's watch this.
Yeah.
This spot is here locally?
Monday, Tuesday
yes,
special.
Coconut Creek.
You can't go wrong.
This is big time. Big dog status. This is big as my face.
You got the steam check.
Oh, yeah. We got a cheese pull.
Oh, yeah.
Just to die for it.
That's a brown.
Because they're not just doing
thing
one
is
thing. They're not
massive.
just doing even 2 things right. They're doing everything right.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. That does.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? This is Josh Eats. We're live. We're in my hometown of Coconut Creek, and we're about to check out Amici's Pizzeria to see why they've been here for 18 years. Let's go. We're here at Amici's, y'all, where you already know the food is.
And the first thing we're gonna try is their penne alla vodka steam check. You see that fresh basil over the top.
Can't fake that.
I'm super excited. This is a big time bowl. I mean, this is a sea of vodka sauce. Oh, and it's very, very hot. Caution. Talk about the penne being al dente. I absolutely love that. Very flavorful. Let's go ahead and let's go.
I know where I'm going for lunch.
It is hot.
The food's so good.
To it, but I like sweet and savory. I love this. That is certified. We're gonna go ahead and give this an 8.6. Chicken Parmesan. One thing that's notable here that I really like is they actually cut up the chicken parm on nice little slivers. Oh, and the sauce and cheese is beautifully melted. Glistening. I'm listening. Very tasty. The chicken is extremely tender. Very thin breading, and it literally just falls apart. The bread is soft. It's fresh. I'm gonna say this right here is also certified. And we're gonna go ahead and give this 8.6. Amici's is doing it right, y'all. We came for the pizza. First up, cheese, y'all.
Oof, it's a massive pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Steam check. Got a little bit of flap, but the flap don't stop their sauce. It's homemade. They don't put any sugar in the sauce. They don't have to do it here. It's because the tomatoes are not out of the can. Everything's made fresh to order. Go ahead and do a crust bite too. So I really like the dough here. This pizza is most definitely quality. The sauce is the showstopper. The crust is not quite as crispy as I would like, but it's still very good. We're gonna go ahead and give this an 8.5, and I can see why they're selling these cheese pizzas. This is their famous upside down pizza. The cheese is stuffed underneath, the sauce is over the top. You got the fresh basil. The owner came on and
Oh, my bad.
less is more.
Cool.
He uses a handful of ingredients in his sauce. Magic behind it is infusing olive oil with garlic.
Bang.
All right, there you go. Got it, Ali? Got it? All right, so perfect.
Yeah.
So walk me through, what is your process when it comes to the pizza, just pizza itself?
Yeah.
Just quick question about this place, because normally when it comes to pizza, two things that almost 99.9% of pizza joints have. They're either true Italians, they're from New York, right? Or Chicago. And then there's some that are just not, they disregard all that and like, no, we have our own style of pizza and we're from XYZ, you know. So what are they? I'm not familiar.
I don't believe he is. I think he would be your last category that you mentioned, where like we do things our own and different.
Okay.
What's really big is that, you know, they actually get the San Marzano tomatoes. They make everything.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
like in this, they have the Statue of Liberty in there, and it's like New York, because it's a gimmick. They're trying to say pizza from New York
style,
and all
New York
that.
style,
and I
yeah.
get it, but at the same time, now you're being put into this category that I have to judge you.
Yeah.
Because like I'm from New York and I know what my pizza tastes like over there. And now I'm gonna judge you if it's from New York or not.
Yep.
I'm like, this might be good pizza, but it's not from New York. So that's why, you know, be careful on trying to do these gimmicks sometimes for the restaurant owners.
And a lot of them put New York in the name. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes those are some of the worst spots. Actually, you have to feel like, oh, I need to put NY in the name. Again, not judging a book by its cover, but from personal experience, I've seen it, right? What really separates them? So usually, like, there's 3 ingredients that go into a pizza, right, guys? You got the sauce, you got the cheese, you got the dough. I think for me, for any pizza to stand out, you got to be doing something different with at least one of the 3. And if you're doing something different with more than one of the 3, your pizza's got to be outstanding and absolutely next level, okay? Now, focusing on Amici's here, really what stands out to me is that sauce. That sauce is absolutely next level. What I've seen is that what's become the flagship of cheese in pizza spots, whether they're Italian, whatever, what have you, they got their Baccio cheese, they got Grande cheese, and I've heard some other cheeses a mix up where people are doing something unique, right? Like Little Mike's, I just went and did. They're doing some special cheese mix straight out of Chicago that's different from anything I've had. Absolutely love it, right? But you see that people do things differently, right? But for him, it's the sauce. The sauce is what separates their pizza.
Yeah.
And you know, as I mentioned to you, like I judge a cheese pie differently than I do a specialty pie, right? The cheese pie is just like, hey, it's those 3 core ingredients, right? And you can't hide behind a tasty topping, right? And a lot of pizza spots do that. Oh, I have the specialty. This and that. Well, let me try your cheese. I want to see what your cheese is working with, right? Now, if I go to a spot, an 8.5 to me is incredibly high for a cheese pizza. I don't think I've given a cheese pizza a 9 to date. I don't think so. Somebody go find it. But a regular cheese pizza, I don't think I've given that, okay? Just to be honest with you. Now, 8.5 is incredibly high. And again, everybody scales a little bit different. And if I give something a 9, you know it's popping. But what I will say is here, the sauce is definitely their game changer. Now, if it has a little bit of flop, I don't mind that. But what I do mind is that if I pick up the pizza, it flops and all the cheese and everything just falls off. If that happens, it wasn't cooked long enough. I like to have a crispier undercarriage on my pizza, right? The crust, I want to be able to bite into it and get that crispy crunch. But I don't want it to where like I bite into it and I feel like my tooth is going to be left inside it because it's too crispy, right? Or too doughy and chewy, right? Like we would do it like I'm not going to throw any widespread chains under the, but you know what I mean, like that Chuck E. Cheese type of pizza. It's just not hitting, right? So for me, that's really what it
Shout
looks
out
like.
to Chucky.
Chucky, hey man, my first cheese pizza there. But yeah, for me, it's like you got to look at that. You got to look at the toppings. The sauce is huge and the cheese. I think the sauce and the cheese. But I've gone other spots that use a different type of yeast. Like I did at Pucciatone in Pompano. You guys haven't checked out Pucciatone? They're excellent. They use a different type of yeast that's extremely expensive. He showed it to me, and his bread just tastes different. The dough just tastes different. It's more airy. They do a Napolitana style pizza, right? So New York style,
and how they make it too, because some use the brick oven, some use the actual New York oven. I don't know what that's called, and they use stone too.
Stone.
So it's different ways of doing it. Would you agree? Because one thing that I would say, like particularly like this place here, they kind of live and die by the sauce.
100%.
Because if the sauce is trash, because they use the sauce for the parm, for a lot of the stuff, the pastas.
They actually use different sauces too.
Yeah, but a lot of places, you know what I'm talking about? A lot of places, they use the same sauce. And their sauce sucks. That means everything's going to suck.
Yep.
So it's kind of like you have to have that good sauce. So if you're telling me this is a good sauce,
it's fine.
Like I'm going to have to go try this. You know, like this is crazy. I wish I could.
This is their upside down pizza. They tuck the cheese underneath and the sauce on the top.
Wow.
So it hits a little bit different. It really does. But yeah, for me, like I'm not going to judge a Chicago style pizza up
'cause that's
against a
deep
Detroit
dish.
style,
Yeah.
or even a Detroit, or a Detroit versus a Sicilian.
Okay.
They're all very
Yep.
different, right?
Exactly.
And like I knew that when I came into this game,
Yeah.
but I've learned so much more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hearing the ingredients, hearing this, hearing that. It's like, hey, most places, like if you're not using at least that grande cheese,
Yeah.
it's not going to be great cheese. I'm
Perfect.
sorry, Baccio's
Yeah.
good, but it just all depends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, so we got wings, we got pizza. I think we gotta go for the trifecta. Can we please, Ale, see some burgers up here? So
Yeah, we're gonna have to play this whole one. This is a fun one. This is a recent one, guys. Whoop, whoop.
Champ is back in training. We're warming up. Full smash runs, daily cardio. Fry reflexes locked in, all leading up to the Onion Affair. It's game time. Burger curls, every rep ends with a bite. To the victor goes the spoils. Champ is here.
okay.
This is when the belt
They said
came
no
out.
beef,
of the
you
belt.
can get
Yep.
4 onions and 1 burger. So I showed up. The champ is here.
8 ounces of dry aged Angus dripping with flavor, stacked with red onion, bacon jam, caramelized shallots, and aged melted onion cheddar. Hit it with that purple carrot, balsamic glaze, crispy shallot straws, and a drizzle of black garlic aioli. It's messy, it's sweet.
Round 1, let's go. We're back. We have the Onion Affair, and I'm gonna beat it fair and square.
That crunch.
Yeah.
So that's not editing. That's
Oh
a
my
real.
gosh. I can see why they call this the Onion Affair. Onion lovers, beware. You're gonna fall in love with this after one single bite. You see, who champion? You already know.
Shout out to the Gerber boys.
Saturday Hoops crew.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
Rich pumpkin, bold espresso, and vanilla ice cream blended to perfection, crowned with whipped cream and graham cracker dust and sprinkles of cinnamon.
Here's their pumpkin spice latte. Wow, that is so good. I had to take the Scully off. Still undefeated. Still, oh yeah, certified.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean,
That's a recent video. What I love about
Yeah.
the videos you chose was like Spice and Vibe was the inception.
Yeah.
Less than a month. Hey, we're still figuring things out, right?
Yeah.
Amici's, okay, the foundation's there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We're moving, we're feeling good. And then that most recent video, which I released, I think a week ago, you kind of just see the editing's gotten a lot
Yeah.
better. I feel a lot more comfortable. And I'm also in my bag where like I'm trying different things.
Because in the beginning, and I told you, like in the beginning, like the Spice and Vibe video was not bad. It's just that, and this is where we're fighting with the algorithm. The algorithm, the way it works, at least IG, it gets shown to a small group of people that don't follow you. And those people, depending on how fast and how they interact with you, is going to keep getting into another level, into another level, into another level. Then that's when the shares and the interaction, like, is that actually working? Because some of you guys might be like, man, I got 90 shares, but I only got 2,000 views. I'm like, okay, that's great. Don't stop. Something's working, but those 90 shares might be your people's. You know, now we got to start your new fans that you want to get might not like the content. Maybe it's because your initial hook is not getting them into the video. And that's the thing. Some videos I watch are really great. Like I watch the videos, I'm like, see, I learned something in that video. I got great content from it. But the hook there was no hook. No hook. So we got to get your hook in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, we're going to do a hook right now. We're going to talk about Josh's OnlyFans page.
I was like, what?
I probably got your attention. And I'm going to make a short about this. And then he's going to talk about his OnlyFans page. So we'll see. So, you got to get their attention. Unfortunately, we live in this world where our attention is this. I mean, it sucks. It's almost like, if you really think about the evolution, I remember it was the first 7 to 6 seconds. Now it went down to 3 seconds. Now it's at 1.5. There's studies, because I follow other people and I have these seminars with other influencers. That's stupid. Like it gets to the point where like you're gonna have like a split second. Like I have to kind of have like a thumbnail. Like the thumbnail becomes the hook.
Yeah, thumbnail.
You know, like I have to get you with something in order to get you to watch the video. So, but now when you build a community, you can you don't have to do those little gimmicky hooks anymore because now the community is there. Correct. Like you don't see a hook with Keith Lee.
No.
He don't do a hook. He's just like, all right, guys, I'm here. I'm doing this. You already know what to expect. You know, so we're all kind of trying to break out of that. So yeah, no, that's. I mean, overall, I'm glad to know that like you give every food category its respect, and there's others. There's sushi. There's all the stuff that we haven't touched upon. You know, that you don't just judge it like, oh, it's good, bad, ugly. It's good. No, it's like you have to. Everything has different types of levels, different food.
Yeah.
You know, there's shrimp, all stuff. You got to know how to eat it. You know how it was prepared. So, and a lot of it, you get it from the information when talking with the owners.
Exactly.
And they see that, so that's really good.
You can't fake it. You can't fake flavor,
Correct. So hopefully, ultimately, I mean, you guys got to remember the content that's being produced here is for you guys.
Yep.
So we said it earlier, everybody's got to eat every day.
Yep.
So hopefully you guys are going to these places, not only to support Josh, but to support the places as well.
Yeah.
And the way that he pictured in the video, like this is a really good chicken wing burger, whatever the case may be, you actually enjoy it too.
Mhm.
And let's talk about that too. You have Josh Eats certified, but you also got Josh Eats verified.
Yeah.
Where it's where people are actually tagging you.
Yep.
I believe there was one owner that said, a free Oreo cookie or something like that. What was
Yeah,
it?
Little Mike's Pizzeria.
Is it ice cream or?
Yeah. No, fried Oreo. It's literally fried
Oreo.
Oreo. Yeah. Little Mike's Pizzeria, guys, right now through the end of November. All you have to do, and you can show up to any one of his 4 locations. You had the grand opening in Coral Springs, Wiles 441, technically Coconut Creek in my eyes. But guys, you go there in between now and November. All you got to do is say Josh Eats, show them you're following me, and you get a free fried Oreos on them, guys. Free fried Oreos. No strings attached. You call in, order the fried Oreos, drop my name.
Yeah.
They actually have in their POS system a Josh Eats button that they click on, and it gives you the Oreos. I think they're like $7 or $8 Oreos. They're fantastic, by the way.
Yeah.
They do it with pizza dough. It's not traditional. They're fantastic. And they actually give you a side of condensed milk to dip it in, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So any one of his 4 locations, guys, Pembroke Pines, North Lauderdale, I want to say Plantation's the other. Don't hold me to it, but I think those are all the 4 different locations.
Yeah.
But check it out. And that video is doing very well right now. I got 13,000 views
There
on
you go.
Instagram, just Instagram alone.
No, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't fake this, because I know there's going to be some foodie influencers watching this. They're going to take notes, and I highly suggest take your notes and leave me a comment while you're at it. But sometimes there's a know-how and there's a know-how, and they're going to try and replicate some things that you have given them, and they're going to fall flat on their face and wonder why.
Yeah.
And the reason why I mention this now, because the next thing I want to talk about is that thing up there, Josh Eats approved. So that's something that if you explain it, please.
Yeah, no, I'll get into it, guys. So I got these stickers printed here a couple weeks ago, and essentially any place that I've been to that is certified, I'm gonna have a sticker right there on the window, right when you walk in, right when you go out, we'll have a double sticker. I have the other sticker as well, and you're gonna see this. And the really cool thing about it as well is that it's got a QR code right here. So if you're not following, you're not whatever, you can literally scan that QR code. It goes right to my link tree, shows you all my socials, shows you actually the shirt store that's about to open, guys, today. So get excited about that. If you don't already have the merch, you see it on Chris right now. The shirts are out there. We're gonna be doing some other stuff, but we're gonna start with the shirts. Show some love, show some support. I know a lot of you mentioned that early on. Hey, I want a shirt. Hey, man, I really hope that you guys put some action behind your words because it means everything to me. I'm not here to make money on the shirts. I'm just trying to spread awareness. It's a movement, and I want everybody to know what I'm doing because it is from the heart. It is something I'm extremely passionate about. And if I can help more small businesses do more business and connect them with the community, where you guys go out for that one meal a month, that nice meal, and you know that you're going to go there and you're going to enjoy it. I've had to date, brother, like on stories alone, I mean, I probably had close to 100 people who've posted, hey, I've been here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this food was great. Yeah. And I'll repost it. Oh yeah, verified, right? So that means, okay, certified by me, verified by you.
Yep.
Right? And I think that's important.
No, I think it's cool to mention it. I know there's gonna be you that's watching this. Oh, I'm gonna go print out a sticker and I'm gonna do that too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's not just one thing. It's just like in marketing. You can't just say I'm gonna do Facebook and call it a day.
Yeah.
You have to do the omni effect. You have to do multiple things, right? You can't replicate Josh. The fact that you develop a strong relationship with the owner, the fact that you're authentic, the fact that it shows in the videos, there's no gimmicks, the fact that you're able to actually show this sticker is not just a sticker. It actually means something. Like, and I'm gonna give you an example. There's some restaurants out there that says featured on Food Network. And when you see that, you give them a sense of respect. You go, the fact that they were on Food Network at one point, you may not watch the episode, you go, they did something right. Now with this, that's the purpose of this.
Yep.
They see that and they go, whoa. If you know him, you're like, oh, hell yeah. If he approved this shit, then I'm going to eat it.
100%.
And they don't know him now. There's an opportunity to know why this is there.
Yeah.
And remember, he's not forcing it like slap it on the way out. The owner has to be okay with this.
Yeah.
All right. So you influencers trying to copy over here, like, I'm just going to snap it everywhere and call it a day and be like, I was here. It's like, it doesn't work like that, bro. Like, you got to have a good relationship. So, and there's going to be some owners that are going to say, I don't want it. That's fine. But
I haven't had one yet.
I
Truthfully,
that
not one
shows
yet.
that shows the respect level where you're at, loyalty and all that, you know.
Yeah.
So that's something that the owners you develop something that you planted a seed, and a lot of these influencers are not doing. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to water that plant, man. They just want that transaction and peace, and then they show up all nice and kind, like, hey, I got another package for you, and then they wonder why there's a disconnect, you know. So you know, take some notes. You know, be truthful for what you're doing. Be authentic and stay authentic to what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, don't forget why you got into this in the first place. You know,
why is important.
Correct. So I think that's super important. But no, I think that's a great idea. I think especially locally here, people are going to see that and they're going to be like, damn, he's been here.
Yep.
I think the reason why, because sometimes people have to understand you're going to be backlogged sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a time to you might film the video today, but it doesn't mean it's gonna be out tomorrow.
No,
you know, and that's something that, you know, you have to, part of the strategy, like maybe National Pizza Month's coming up next month. Maybe that's when the pizza review comes out, right?
Yeah.
Things like that. Influence, like, I'm gonna do it today and tomorrow. And bro, I've had horror stories where I've had influencers come here. I think I had one influencer that I was like, I want to pay him not to post it. I was just like, yo, don't just, I'm gonna save you some time. Like, just don't even post it, my man. Because it was so bad. It wasn't even the editing and all that. It was just like, what were you reviewing? You didn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
You just did it. Like, if you wanted
to be informative.
If you wanted the free meal, bro, I would have gave you the free meal, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, it's not, we're here to help each other out. And as a marketing agency, that's what I look for. I look for building bridges, not a one-time thing. I'm like, hey, I want to help you get more clients under you. But if for me to sell you, I need you to make sure that you're loyal in the sense that you're gonna be truthful. You're gonna go there, do what you got to do. I don't want the owner to be like, hey, man, this person, yeah, it's shady, man. Like, or hey, they try to take, they brought 20 people to eat for free. I'm like, if you're trying to win one over me, bro, it's gonna last one time and that's it. Call it a day. So yeah, that's,
don't burn bridges.
Yeah,
often imitated, never duplicated, right? Just because they make the sauce don't mean it's gonna taste the same. And you know who I'm talking to.
Correct. One other thing that I want to talk about, because now and I told you when you started that you're going to get to the point where it's going to happen, and it's already started happening. How do you deal with the trolls online? The ninja keyboard warriors.
Yeah, you got
How
those.
do you deal with that?
You know, I've come to the realization, right, and this happens actually a lot on TikTok too, where some people go on there just to kind of take out their angst at their bad day, right, at whoever, the first person that pops up. I've happened to be that first person that's popped up, right? I mean, I've heard things like, budget Mike Eats. Okay, that's cool, bro. I'll take it. Like, Mike is Eating is absolutely killing it, right? So if by some stretch of the imagination, I'm reminding you Mike is Eating, hey, I'm doing the right thing, right? I've had people tell me, oh, you think you're helping that business? Nah. Because I actually was going to go there, but because of you, I'm not going to go there. Like, hey, okay, cool, bro. Like, hey, like, let's live a little. And I'll just,
sour.
It's funny, too, because my initial reaction was like, ugh, you know what I mean? But like, I've noticed and I've learned in my life, like, don't react on emotion, right? You got to let it set in. You got to let it kind of fester a little bit to understand where you really feel. And it's just like, I'd laugh at them, right? Give them a sarcastic remark. I'll never forget, somebody told me really early on, this is a true story, this is great, on YouTube, like, oh man, the videos seem all right, this, that, the other, but it's sad because this is not going to last. You'll do this for maybe a month and you'll be done and nobody will ever know nothing about you. And I literally wrote back to him. I told him, no, you're my motivation, brother. I'm going to be here and I'm here to stay. I'm not going anywhere. Just watch.
Yeah.
And just the other day, I posted a video and that same guy came on. He goes, wow, I salute you, man. Like, you were a man of your word. Your content's getting better. You're growing. Like, good for you, man.
Because people are, what we talked about earlier in the podcast, people are used to seeing these projects arise. Yeah. And then you get that initial support. And then it's kind of like it's happened too many times and people just fall off.
Yeah, it's true.
So, you know, now you're going through a year from now, people are going to be like, yo, this is what he's doing. Like, this is crazy. It sucks that you have that longevity with time to prove people wrong, but
consistency.
They don't have that grit, you know. Yeah. Like that's why I was saying earlier, we're built different because not everybody has that.
No.
You know, and that mentality comes from your background, football, sports, everything, you know. Yeah. And some of it, you know, you got to thank some of our coaches too, you know.
100%.
Because if it wasn't for them kind of instilling that into our minds, you know, we wouldn't have that type of like hard skin where we know like one battle is not going to tear us down. We're going to win the war, you know. We're going to lose some battles, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a part of the journey.
So
you got to lose to win. That's a part of success. People think it's a linear journey. It's not. Like, you're going to fail 100 times before you succeed that one time, you know?
So one thing that the Unfiltered team wanted to ask for you, there was so what's next for Josh Eats? What's in the plans? What's something that you can share with us that, you know, without that you can reveal something. That,
Yeah.
what you got next? You know.
So without giving away too much, I mentioned you guys the online store is about to open. You guys are going to see the merch coming out. You've seen the stickers. You've seen the food champion belt, right? What I'll say of what's next is I'm going to start hitting up more and more spots. I'm not going to just stay local, even though it's Josh Eats FL. It's where I'm from. It's where I love. It's where my passion was born. But I'm going to be traveling a lot more, right? And when I do travel, I'm going to go and review those spots. I actually have a Josh Eats meets the North End up in Boston, where I've traveled there actually very recently. None of the videos have come out yet, but I'm going to be putting that out there, right? And letting people know, hey, I'm not just local to Florida. I'm going to hit up other spots too, you know? And we're having fun with it, right? But I think what's next for me is I'm going to continue to build. I'm going to continue to evolve. I'm going to see what's working right. Okay, how can I make that better, right? And then what is not going right? Okay, let me get rid of that. And let's figure out what the people want. You know, what the people truly want to see. And I think what's next for me is I'm going to continue to grow organically. I'm going to continue to be authentic, and I'm going to continue to support local businesses. That's really what I set out to do. And I want to eventually create my own platform where I'm able to help not only just support small business restaurant owners, but support other folks, support my friends and family that are willing to bet on themselves and create something of their own so that I can help them. If I can create this platform, I have this followership where people know, like I have a brand name now, which I think I branded myself pretty well. That was something that I really wanted to do to come out, not just show up, right, but to show up correctly, you know? And so that way I'm not working backwards, I'm just looking forwards, right? So I think for me, it's just continuing to build the team, right, that's going to surround me, that's going to help me, that's going to support me, because I want to continue to really focus on being creative, on building and doing things a little bit differently, right? I think I have the foundation is built, but what can I do now to upgrade pieces of that foundation to continue to grow and never forget where I came from, right? I'm a firm believer in being humble and doing things the right way and never forgetting where I came from. And if I ever get too high on my horse, like I want my friends, I want you to tap me and say, hey, Josh, like, oh man, come back down to earth a little bit here, right? And it hasn't happened yet. I don't foresee it happening. However, it's having people in your corner that are not yes men, that are willing to check you, willing to give you that hard message. That's helped me the most. And I want you guys to take me aside and have those conversations with me, give me feedback, and like, let's continue to grow and like, let's grow together, right? Like you go fast, you don't go far, right? It takes a village. We're building this. Like Rome, the Colosseum was not built in one day, right? Brick by brick, and I'm going to continue to build, and I can't stop and I won't stop, right? So do I know everything that comes in the future? No, but I know I'm going to continue to build. I know I'm going to continue to get better, and I'm going to continue to help small business, you know? And I think if I continue to do that, everything will find itself in due time. You know, it doesn't happen overnight, and it's going to run its course, you know? And I know that I keep shooting my shots. All it takes is that one video, that one person to see it, that one thing for it to really, truly go viral. You know, I've hit some videos that hit 100, 200,000 views. That's great, right? Eventually, you know, fingers crossed, hits 1 million. But at the end of the day, those are all numbers, and it's all like an illusion on social media. But the relationships I'm building with the owners, right? Relationships I'm building with the community, right? Being able to continue to build that and help people and to hear those messages come out, that's going to continue to fill my glass and allow me to fill others' glasses, right? But until I fill my glass, I can't fill other people's glasses. I realize that, and it's the harsh truth. But if I continue to build and I do it one restaurant at a time, this is going to be something great. I truly believe 100%. It, you know?
No, 100%, man. I mean, I think you're definitely building something special with a good foundation. You know, you're starting to see things. I mean, you caught fire early on. You know, and I told you it might be a long game. You know, don't be discouraged when you see some numbers and stuff like that drop. It is what it is. It's part of the algorithm. Sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it's the location. Sometimes it's the type of food. You know, so and sometimes the editing, whatever the case may be. But you've been learning that it's like, you know, okay, you're massaging your content, and then as it gets better and better and better, people are seeing it, the reactions are there, you know, and then sometimes you learn also some platforms are different than others. TikTok is different than Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm proud of where you're at right now from when you started to now. I mean, you put in a lot of hard work. I mean, from building the PC from scratch. I mean, that PC was here. It was all like putting things together, troubleshooting it and all that. I mean, I'm talking about like parts and everything. So
for real,
I know about it to a certain extent, and we're like, why is it not working? We're like, dang.
Is this?
And then, you know, just thinking about
trial and error,
the cameras and getting the phones and editing all that. I mean, guys,
the right settings.
Correct. I mean, when I say he started from zero, he did not know what he knew what CapCut is, but he didn't know how to use it. He didn't know what Premiere was. He didn't know about, I told him, I was like, you better get storage because your phone is going to get eaten up.
I'd upgrade.
All of a sudden, he's like, yeah, man, I'm in the middle of shoot and I had no storage. I'm like, I told you, you gotta get an SD card or something. You know, these are things that, you know, obviously since I do restaurant marketing, I've learned over the years. So I wanted to kind of share and fast pace them as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Because I knew going on, I was like, you know, you're the type of person like me that you put your mind to it, you know, you just kind of, you're gonna get it done. And you know, we've shared not only that we went to college together and stuff like that, you know, but you know, we worked together at one point too at Office Depot.
Yeah.
You know, I was always I was a salesperson, and I was a top salesperson at the time.
Yeah.
And Josh was like, yeah, I need a job for college part time. I was like, well, I think they're hiring. And he literally, like, that was the first time we ever worked together.
Yep.
And he was like, man, I was like, man, he operates just like me. I was like when we come in here, we want to be the top dog, but in a good way, not just dog eat world and just bully my way all the way to the top.
Just talk the talk, you walk the walk. Let the action speak for itself.
Because there's some people that trying to get to the top, but they're gonna burn a lot of bridges.
Yep, cut corners.
And that's not how we roll over here. If anything, we try to help people up,
bring people up.
Correct. So when I saw that work ethic from you, and I ended up leaving that job to another job, you ended up being the top dog there, and I was like, it's crazy, and that was quick. So, you know, that gave me a lot of respect. Like, you're a man of your word. Like, if I can give you a reference for any job or anything in the future, I knew that you were gonna see it through. You were gonna do it all the way through. So when it came to like you doing this new idea, even I remember there was some people like, oh, you're gonna try that. Oh yeah, good luck. Or I know somebody. Or you can do this. Oh, it's easy. I'm like, it's not easy, bro. Because if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. You know, so and then from there, that's why I was like, let me see what tools I can help you. You know, I'm already very, very busy, but wherever I can help you to succeed and accelerate, you know, boom, you know, and then from there, you did it yourself, you know, learned a lot of stuff yourself. You put in hours at night.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you ended up switching. I mean, he's a hardcore gamer. I mean, some of you guys probably don't see him anymore gaming because he used to game every night and stuff like that.
That's true.
He built the PC to game.
Yep.
And now the PC's to edit.
Yeah.
So luckily it works in that way where you can use that PC. So, you know, ultimately some sacrifices had to be done. And there was times you're like, hey man, at 3 a.m, I'm still editing, or I'm tired as hell, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing before I forget, because I think this is kind of important. One of the Unfiltered team members, I think it was Juan, he was like, man, shout out to Juan. He helped do the logo and all that.
Hey, one more time, baby.
Yeah. He said his question was, how do you stay fit with all this food? What's the trick?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of food in those videos.
Yep.
It's a lot. And even if you just like, you're not eating all of it, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
We see it. We literally see it. Even if it's a bite here and all that, it's a lot of calories, a lot of food. So what's your secret you want to share that what's going on?
No, for sure. Well, at first I used to eat everything. You bring burger, it's gone. Next thing, and I'm like, damn, this ain't gonna need no way. I'm running to the bathroom before I get to the last meal that's coming to me at one spot. I think the trick is, and again, I'm not the most super fit person, right? But I didn't want to, gain a bunch of weight, and I've actually lost 25 pounds since I started this journey. So it kind of shows you. But fasting, intermittent fasting, has been really my trick, if you will. At least 16 hours. I try to do it at least 16 hours a day. Sometimes in between shoots, and sometimes I don't shoot for a day or two at a time, right? So I've gone as long as I think 36 hours on a water fast. I haven't quite break through more than that because it's tough, It's mind over matter that you get headaches, you get irritated, whatever. But just kind of being able to continue to rise above, and I think that's just with anything, right? Like, and what I want to instill upon, if I haven't instilled any message upon the folks who are viewing this video right now, it's the fact that, like, if you wake up every day and you're not excited about what you do, if you're not fired up and passionate about what you do, what the hell are you doing? You got to have a gut check. You got to have a serious question, right? Do some soul searching and figure it out, because I got to the point where I was burnt out on what I was doing. I didn't feel the impact. I know I was saving people money. I was doing this, I was doing that. I was making good money. I was making well into the 6 figures, right? Yeah. But like, I was comfortable. I think that's why I was comfortable, and I was stagnant in the way of, like, my work ethic and my quality of work wasn't getting me to where I wanted to be. And I wasn't going to compromise my integrity as a person and who I am for a title, for money. It was never about that, right? It helped. Now it's a means to help me to get to where I want to be, sure, but it was never solely about that, right? And I got to the point where I was just going through the motions. And I was like, man, I don't know what it is, but it's not this. It's not here. It's not right now. I'm 34 years old. I'm engaged. My wonderful fiance to Barbara. We have a couple of fur animals, Aria and Chester at home, a cat and a dog. We don't have any kids yet. And I told myself, what time like the present? What time right now? I'm in the prime of my life right now, right? Everything that I've been doing has gotten me to this point, right? I've been eating my whole life for this, right? And for that to kind of accumulate and get to that peak where it was like, okay, this is make or break right here. And I said, I'm going to break something so that I can make something of my own. know.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what really resonated with me. And that's what kept me pushing so far early on, especially when it was tough, when nobody knows it. Move in silence.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody what you're going to do. Just do it. Seriously. That's what I want you all to do.
Write that shit down.
Because
it doesn't matter what you're doing. Move in silence.
Yeah.
There's too many.
Yeah. And then there's the thing about evil eyes, right? Envious eyes, where like you say something to the wrong person and it'll never happen because you said it to the wrong person and they don't want to see you win.
I know people that like they're trying to do moves, whether it's business or life move, whatever, and then they post it on Facebook and then they get all these comments and then they get discouraged.
Yeah.
And then they stop. It stops there.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it hasn't been approved. So they're trying to get approval. And I understand everybody's different. Some people have more confidence than others and things like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta live in that darkness yourself. And
fake it till you make it, man.
Correct.
You got to. You
but
build it.
don't try to please everybody.
Yeah.
You know, again, this is not. Trust me. If people, even the most successful people, Google somebody, they always had some type of dark story.
Yeah.
I mean, they shared Michael Jordan. His dad got murdered and stuff like that. Everybody has a dark story that motivated them to get to where they're at.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I talked to my wife the other day. I was like, man, if you really think about it, it's kind of fucked up, but everybody is like almost like semi-famous or famous. It's almost like they had to have some type of sacrifice.
Yeah.
They didn't cause the sacrifice, but it's like they needed that to elevate to where they're at, and that's what made them who they are. You know, and it's crazy. It's like, damn, you know, and everybody has some type of sacrifice, you know, has happened in their life or something like that. Use it as motivation to kind of get to what it is. You know, it doesn't mean you lose somebody or whatever, but you know, I was just an example. But there's maybe you got fired or whatever.
Setback for a major comeback. It's true.
So you have to use those setbacks as motivation to get to that thing. If now you're gonna dwell in the past, you're gonna stay in the past. You're not gonna move forward.
You're not gonna learn. You're not gonna get better. And even for me, I had a very dark experience. You were alongside me in college where I essentially didn't have two nickels to rub together, right? I tried to help some other folks because, you know, I'm a caring person. I try to help and without thinking about myself. And I left myself in a very dire financial situation. Yeah. And I think that kind of directed my next 10 years from after I graduated college, where I want to be comfortable. I want to have money put away. I want to save. I want to be conservative, right? I want to take the safe road. And that's when I finally woke up and I was like, the safe road is just not gratifying anymore. Just not, I'm not fired up anymore. And if I lose that fire, I'm not going to be as great as what I can be.
True.
And I said, screw it. I'm going to risk it for the biscuit, right? Like I'm going to risk it all right now. A very good job, a very good career that I had developed with a company, you know, and I'm going to bet on myself. I'm going to build something of my own, right? I'm going to risk myself. I always played it safe. And I said, let me risk it. Why not? What better risk than to risk it on myself? Yeah. You know what I mean?
100%.
And that's what really happened. And that's what propelled me forward. And it continues to propel me forward nowadays. And if I can, even if it's just one person that's watching this right now, that can change your life for the better and do something that you love. It's not all about money, guys. You got to do something you're passionate about. A wise man once told me, if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life. And I absolutely love what I'm doing right now. I love the fact that I'm connecting with people. I'm in a social platform, meeting people, talking with people. It's really what I truly believe I was meant to do, right? Like, you know, people told me my whole life, your personality, your voice, you could be doing something more. You're doing good at American Express, but you could be great, you know?
No, 100%. Awesome, man. Well, I'm going to do something new on this podcast because it's actually, you know, obviously we do pre-record these. So, you know, we're not live.
We're not live.
But today that this is going to be launched is Thanksgiving Day.
Wow.
So definitely thankful for the ones that are watching this. We're thankful for all you guys supporting in all of our business journeys and stuff like that. Yeah. But I want to do something that we haven't done in any podcast before. I'm gonna give away in the essence of, you know, the fact that you are a foodie and all this stuff. Yeah. I want to give somebody a $100 gift card for them to go eat wherever they want to go eat. Wow. So in order for them to get this $100 gift card, all right, and it'll be a gift card or Zelle you whatever, locally, whatever, doesn't matter. And we'll show the winner. I'm a man of my word. I ain't gonna be like, oh, he's gonna pick his mom. Like,
yeah.
This is a long podcast. I understand, but if you watch this podcast and if you comment this below and the person that answers this correctly first, you're the winner. All right. There's two parts to this. What are the 3 food categories that we reviewed when we showed 3 videos up here? What were those 3 food types? All right. And in this podcast, I personally drank 2 different types of drinks. What were they? You can give me the brand name. It doesn't matter. You'll know because I did switch brands. Whoever gives me that first, $100 is yours.
Look at that. Simple. Look at that. It's a race to the comment section
so
now.
We're going to definitely tag a story about all this stuff or whatever. I know some of you guys are going to skip to the end and be like, oh, shit. go watch it.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
You're going to have to watch it.
You're
for
gonna
sure.
have to watch it, and you know, we're not just trying to forcefully have you watch this. You know, hopefully it's something that if you're at work or whatever, or you work from home, you can put this in the background, listen to it. You know, but you watching it, I think you're gonna. Hopefully, you guys appreciate the type of content that we're here. Give us your 2 cents too. You know, not just for Josh, but for us as well too. We always look forward to like knowing what you guys enjoy about the podcast.
Yes.
This has always been about, you know, highlighting entrepreneurship. We're located in Fort Lauderdale. We've done podcasts in Colombia. We've done podcasts here. We got some podcasts in New York that we're going to release with some big name people that you guys are going to be like, how the hell did you get them on the podcast? So, you know, these ultimately is to shine a light as to what we do marketing wise. All of this branding has been created by Real Design, the marketing team. And then what we do is we just wanted to have fun with it. We don't want to have another boring podcast talking about, hey man, so how many times you post?
Yeah.
And how do you do that technique? It's just boring shit.
Yeah.
What are 3 tips to get me to the, bro, that's TikTok when it first came out. 3 tips to get you there. You got to do a little bit different. So hopefully you guys enjoy the reels, the podcast. You know, we try to do things differently. It's not always the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, we try to bring different guests. And no matter how big or small they are, it doesn't matter. I don't go by, oh, I got to bring the big heavy hitters. I have people here that have millions of followers, and I have people here that had hundreds of followers. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, so ultimately we don't pick and choose based off of that. We pick and choose based off your story and if you have something interesting to say. So with that, hopefully you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving with your family. You know what? Hopefully you guys are watching it. As you
I got a question for you, Chris. I got an impromptu question for
Okay.
you, right? Since we're doing the Thanksgiving episode, what are you grateful for?
Oh man, I'm grateful for the people that surround me, man. I'm gonna be very honest with you because ultimately, you know, there's been, you know, my family, my wife, my daughter, you know, my son that's gonna be born in a week or 2 from this episode.
That's awesome.
You know, everybody around me, my supporters, really, you know, if you've ever supported me, I've always been a behind the scenes. You said it earlier. You were scared when you launched that first video. So was I.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't know. They're like, man, you know, Chris, the podcast looks nice and all that. Guys, I've been doing this for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like content editing and shooting
happen
and all this
overnight.
stuff for my clients. This is not something that I just bought a fancy camera and put this. No, man, I've been doing this for a long time. I know I have the team around me that and this team is not new, you know, so we have the backing for it. So now it's like with marketing in any industry, you kind of have to put yourself in front of the curtain now and showcase something. So I was like, I want to do it my way, something cool.
Yeah.
And I'm Colombian, I'm from New York, and we're in Fort Lauderdale. So I was like,
It
make that a
embodies you.
baby. Unfiltered. Let's go ahead and make it where, you know, I don't know if you guys know all this graffiti and all this stuff. The reason why, because I used to be a graffiti artist. So a lot of people don't know that. They you know, there's certain things about me. So it's kind of like you're seeing things about me and my team. You know, they're adding the all of this stuff. This is Colombia. This is Las Olas. You know, they're adding their flair into it. It's not just me, Christian Reyes. It's the team itself. So and it's gonna keep evolving. So. And you've been part of the podcast with us already earlier. So that was something that was really cool. Santana's and then with Seth, with the Pokemon. So you guys have seen them. So these are things that, you know, I wanted to collaborate you in there as a co-host, and you've done, I think, a fantastic job in there. So
Thank you.
We wanted to go ahead and highlight you as well. But no, overall, the support, I would say the most thing that I'm thankful for, because I wouldn't be able to achieve my weight loss goals, my goals with my family, and where I'm at business-wise, stuff like that, if it wasn't for that motivates me. You know, people seeing and like, oh shit, like this is what you're doing.
And seeing that you're inspiring others.
Correct. So that really fills my cup.
Yeah.
So that's essentially it.
And I'm gonna piggyback, guys. You know, in the spirit of, you know, being grateful and being thankful for stuff. I totally am supported by and thankful for. You know, behind every great man is a great woman, right? Or it could be a great man or woman, right? We don't discriminate here. But I think what's really important for me, especially, is like, you know, Barbara has had my back. You know, I took a risk. I stopped having a huge line of income that was really fueling our household for the last 10 years. You know, and she's like, nah, just go do it. I believe in you. And I told her, I'm like, I'm going to do this. I feel it. I sat there in my desk in my room by myself, just me and her. And I said, I could feel it. I know this is right. You know, and I keep seeing things that remind me that I'm on the right path, right? I'm thankful for the friends, you know, like yourself that have propelled me, like Zane, Joey, Mike, Eric. Like I could go on and on about the friends that have come out of the woodwork to support me, to help me, to be a part of it. My man Alois, right? Like so many of you guys, Kashan, you know, like all of you guys have supported me, but also to the strangers that have come into my life, all the people that I've met over the last 6 months since I started this journey, right? I mentioned Mike from Burger Stop, just tons of owners, all the owners, every single owner that you guys have bet on me, took a risk, especially the ones early on where I didn't have any content to show them. I told them, hey, I want to shoot a food review at your spot. and they gave me that opportunity, right?
Yep.
Troy from Wontom's, from Papa's Raw Bar, Chef Anthony Hoff from Los Bocados, like all those originators, all the people that gave me a shot early on where I didn't have anything to show for them. Like, I'm thankful for you guys, right? Because you guys bet on me, you guys were willing to risk on me. And without all of you guys, without the people that are on there showing the love, the followers, and not just the followers that were friends and family, but the new people that I've come into your lives, I'm thankful for all of you guys and each and every one of them, because without all of these people, there is no me.
Yep, 100%. Well, with that, happy Thanksgiving, guys, to everybody here watching. Please, Josh, do us the honors and leave us with your famous slogan. This Unfiltered FTL episode has been what?
It has been, oh, yeah, certified, ladies and gentlemen, for all angles here. And I hope that your Thanksgiving meal is, oh yeah, certified too, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we do it. And if you want, you can always invite me over and I'll give it that, oh yeah, verification.
We might need to do that next year, where he goes to your house and rates your Thanksgiving cooking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, certified. That's a different level marketing.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
we'll take it from there, brother. Hey man, thank you for being on the
Thanks
episode.
for having me, Chris.
All right, guys.
Till next time.
Awesome.